You'll still have common days. Get caught in traffic during your commute. Overthink a text message. Get a song stuck in your head. This is not one of those days. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
Welcome in, everybody. It is now time for the NECC Rocket League Bracket Finals Week, the final version of the Forge Trials presented by the Army National Guard. Find your calling at nationalguard.com. Bearlight joining Pyro J here tonight for these battles of the finals for their respective regions, and I'm excited to get things going, Pyro.
Been a journey. We got through the regular season, and we've even gotten through all those bracket stages, not just the upper bracket, but the lowers. So we have one team sitting in their cushioned seat through the upper bracket, waiting for whoever would play against them, and another who is hungry for that second chance. The requirement to bracket reset and then win a second best of 7 if they want to take tonight's grand finals.
That's right. We kick off in Division 1, by the way, for our first matchup. Let's get right into it. It's Northwood facing off with Fisher College. We know them extremely well across the collegiate nation. They've been around for a while, Pyro, for a reason. Both of these teams come in extremely strong. Northwood coming in with Hockey and Crims have been around for a while, and Drury has joined this squad as well this semester. They're looking good. And, of course, Fisher College coming in on the other side as well. They've got Ivan, Royals, and Just Us coming in for their roster to round them out.
So many exciting players to keep our eyes on, and in addition to that, I'm curious about their ARNG uncommon traits, the keys to victory. What's going to push them through to a victory? And for Northwood, I want to go back to the initial claim, which was preventing the reset, right? We talked about how Fisher, they lost in the lowers, they're coming up. They need to win 2 matches. Prevent the reset. Just win the first match. It's that easy. Second one I've got for you, Bearlight, for Northwood is win the close ones. You know, there's been several tight matchups. I mean, Northwood just got done with their Game 7 win over St. Clair Green. That was a team they lost a Game 7 to in the regular season. So take those wins. They've learned to do that. And finally, rep North America. There's just no one from NA on this Fisher College team, which is A-okay. I love my Uni-Rocketeers as much as I love our North Americans, but Northwood had the chance to do that.
That's right, absolutely. So we'll see if they can rep it well. We've got on the other side Fisher College. Let's see their uncommon traits. See their keys to success too. I want to kick it off here with one I like to call April Fools. Why do I call it April Fools? Great question. Fisher College, basically perfect. In fact, they are exactly perfect throughout the entirety of this semester in Division 1. That's extremely difficult to do. Yet they pulled it off except for one day. And it was on April Fools. They need to prove that it was just an April Fool's joke and that they're back in action. They went ahead and ran themselves through the bottom side of the bracket too, which brings us to 1 game set match at a time. You've got a long way to go against a very strong team in Northwood. You got to be able to take it 1 game at a time, 1 set at a time, and then once you're able to reset that bracket, hopefully, unless, of course, Northwood prevents it like you had mentioned, you got to keep going. And, of course, going global. You've got players from the Netherlands. You've got players from Spain and from Brazil, respectively. The global team, you mentioned it, Pyro J. They're going global, got a whole bunch of looks, whole bunch of styles from a whole bunch of different regions. And I think that's what makes Fisher so successful, too, when they can give you that many looks.
Yeah, Royales, the Brazilian player, is one that I'm the most excited about. I mean, this was a player who was a SAM top 4 RLCS professional and now has been playing in North America for a while this season, especially in collegiate, and wants to take the throne in NECC. So let's see if they've got what it takes. It's down to this grand finals for NECC. We've got game 1 ready to get underway.
Very nice. Game 1, again, best of 7. Northwood came through from the top side of the bracket. So if they win this series, they will take it. Fisher's got a long way to go, like we mentioned, but they were 7-0 during the regular season versus the 6-1 regular season we saw from Northwood. That being said, Northwood did have St. Clair on their side, which was the team that ultimately beat them during the regular season. We'll see if they can put that aside here and look to get a hot start in this series.
And it's no surprise to see these collegiate players also have their heights set in the professional scene. I mentioned Royales previously in Sam, but I even casted Ivan in the RLCS of SSA. Had taken some top twos in that regard. Obviously, Hockey and Creeves, no strangers to the RLCS circuit of North America as well, especially with their stint in TSM. So these folks aren't strangers to the limelight, as they'll look to feel very comfortable in it tonight.
Just Us was able to track that one well. Shot will be taken to the top side. Ardell is able to handle that one, just collected on the back wall. And Drewy looking to press in, but gonna find their match at midfield as it's bounced right back in. As Hockey was looking for Cream, so this is a couple of times where Northwood can't find the handle. And Ivan will kick off the scoring here in game one. Fisher on top for now.
As a snappy strike here from Ivan. Perfect infield pass. Hockey doing his best to track it, but ended up climbing onto that wall, I think a little bit too late. Fisher, varsity, their lead.
You already saw in the demos start to form too. Had a lot of space, but Drury, as he was tracking the far side, so is Royales. As now Ivan will take it out to midfield, also out for the bump. Both teams looking for that physicality. Royales right back in off the back wall. Good patience, but Drury able to stay tall in nets and fight that one up.
It's been big shoes to fill for Drury on Northwood this season, taking that spot from Zanil, or filling that spot, that vacancy from Zanil, and has done so well. I mean, obviously gotten here with Northwood, done the same in other collegiate leagues, but obviously called to action to keep this team top tier.
I agree. And it definitely, you know, always been talented, always been around the bubble scene for an extended period of time. Plus, you get all that guidance too from all the players from Northwood that have been absolutely prestigious, but that's going to be a little bit of a mistake there from Northwood midfield, but they're not going to be paying for it. This Fisher wasn't able to read that miss, so luckily for them, that is the case. But yeah, you're right. I mean, Drury's been fantastic being able to fill that gap that should have been large, but Northwood continues to find success regardless.
Drury will make contact with this midfield touch as it falls back into Hockey's lap here. He wants to follow it. No, leave it actually for Creams. The air dribble's there. Hockey's got the follow. But how about Justas? 2 saves against otherwise hot strikes from Northwood. Ivan up for this one, beaten by Creams. This guy is the quickest on the field in the skies right now.
A to Z so quickly. The way Hockey's able to get up to that one makes that look easy too. It's right back down. Drury's going to actually find Creams. But he might have had the opportunity to be able to put that one on target, but instead chose a teammate instead. And Justice able to read it and play it right back in. Actually got a deflection off that wall, get the extra hit. That started to challenge the defense there of Northwood, but they were able to fight that one off too. Now an opportunity. Fisher gonna launch one, and a demo out in front will make sure that it gets there. A 2-0 lead for Fisher.
So it's Justice and Ivan again striking at the net, but this time they take different roles. Justice goes from passer to shooter. Ivan goes from shooter to homing missile right on that goal line demo for goal 2.
Northwood looking for some justice for that blood that was drawn there. Look at the 1-2-3 passing. No, it's Creams was ready for it. The Fisher tracked that one too. And slow play from Hockey is going to be read well. Drury on that back wall. Another read leaves it wide open. Fisher was just not expecting it. And Northwood will cut that lead in half.
Yeah, and you just can't leave yourself vulnerable to touches like these. Royales trying to get the jump on Drury, but instead they have some great balance on the side wall. And it's quite the dunk to keep Northwood in this game.
Off the kickoff now will find its way back to Fisher. As Justice, realizing they were beat by Hockey, peeled off. It can allow Royales to jump up in their place, and out to midfield it'll go. Ivan directing it back in. Creams there all the way, able to get back down and get that extra touch as well through the wave dash. And shot taken, but Royales getting that one every single day. Northwood putting on shots, but Fisher has been easily tracking that one. That was a pass, but no intended target there as everybody kind of build out there for Fisher College as we tick down to under a minute, and a fake will work here. Creams credited with this one, an equalizer, an uncharacteristic mistake there from Fisher.
I mean, the sequence altogether was pretty awkward. You had a great pass from Fisher right in the box, no one there to score, so you think, okay, everyone's on defense. No, there's an absence there as well. Players getting chased down, players missing the ball, and the survivors of the chaos are Northwood.
And you know what? That's kind of playing into our key factor where we said win the close ones. How about winning the challenges, winning the speed runs, right? Getting to the ball first. That's something that Northwood's been struggling with currently, and Fisher's been struggling with. Northwood able to equalize. And a pretty easy one. Won't see many more easier than that, especially in the Division 1 side of things as we take under 30 seconds left. And now Northwood had control. Justice was low on boost, so he had to peel off that one. Otherwise, it should have been a clean 50-50. They'll still clear it out regardless. And Royales, man on the spot, looking for a teammate. Just keeping it pinned back wall, but a great job from Creams to be there. Positionally sound, and now on the backtrack, here are Northwood. They've got a little bit of space to work with. I've been trying to get back to it as well, but they're able to find an outlet pass here. Down to 2 seconds left and launched back in. Creams is there! What a save as Royales will dig it out, and we go to overtime.
He's the only player on 5 saves right now in this game. Royales, a big reason as to why Northwood only have 2 goals here as they found their hot streak late in this game. Will it extend, though, into overtime? Drury keeps the possession for Northwood as it climbs across the ceiling to the opposite side of the field. Hockey challenges from the ceiling. Ivan holds that flip to nearly get through 2 defenders. Justice picks up the pace, pedal to the metal, demo on the goal line, but that's from Hockey, and it'll give relief to Northwood.
Just chopping it out, trying to relieve some of that pressure. Northwood. They'll look to go right back to the back wall. Now Creams into challenge for the quarter, but Royale is able to navigate his way past him and takes it back down. Not able to get that extra touch they were looking for. That allows Drew to go right back to it. The waterfall down. There was no time for Northwood to follow up on that challenge. Now an extra touch, though. Drew is there, but out of boost. Had to peel off that one. Otherwise, it would have been a very dangerous touch. Still is. Off the back wall, Royale is able to handle it. It's not on target, though, so that'll allow Hockey the chance to try to reset. But Fisher all over this one. Another bullet. But Hockey was able to jump down from his position. Now he's going the other way. Had some space there on the dribble. Tried to find the corner, but Royales will punch out.
Speed race and back and forth. No team is finding a safe territory of this pitch right now. It is the danger zone at all times as Hockey gets a beautiful read for that second touch, but that's the third man beat for Northwood. Royale sprinting to the finish, but misses the shot. Now it's Drury and Hockey as Drury gets the bump. Hockey didn't follow the play, and so Northwood will have to play from the midfield as they lob it to the net.
It's quite literally a game of inches every single time these 2 teams line up. And it's because one team will finally have an opening, but it's because they're a boost stealing, and so you're low on resources trying to make that big play, hero play, and everybody's so good at recovering that we've seen it both ways, where both teams can recover even when it seems like all is lost. Credit these teams for being able to do this so consistently as well. So you see Drury trying to challenge with that flip reset, but had no help, and Royales was on this one too. It finds its way to the Fisher College end. Challenge in here nicely by Northwood. Creams will play it backwards, but Drury was being pestered there with a little bit of a bump play from Fisher College. Now they have an opportunity to press back in. Great carry. Went to the top of the post, but Creams shut it down.
Yeah, I know he talked about Royales being that savior, but he'll be the shooter as well on that beautiful air dribble carry. Justice thought maybe a solo play was in action as well with that flip reset, but does go back to Northwood. They'll handle the ball. Creams brings it to the ground because there's no challenge in time, so you might as well play the time. Speaking of playing it, Drury on the 50-50. Creams with that corner boost. There's 2 defenders ready for this touch from Justice. It does not find a teammate in time, though. Ivan does fill the gap. Creams. Oh, he's got a lane here. Justice might just be the last one standing to stop this play. No, Royales able to cut it off, and Fisher just aren't allowing Northwood really to exit their half. It's even off of Justice's aerial all the way up to the ceiling. They will not give them space.
Electing to just go and challenge, even if you're out of boost. Why fall back in rotation? You can't give them space. So option 2 is just get in their face, and I love that they've been doing that. Being able to execute it too. It's risky, yes, but if you can pull it off with your mechanics, it makes it relatively easy, especially without it. But Hockey going there, good save there from Royales. Zay will punch it out to midfield. Creams waits for it. Will launch one as well and follows up on it too. Gets the rebound, the loose change, and Northwood, after 3 minutes and 47 seconds in overtime, will take game one.
It looked like a slow shot from Creams, but really he recognized the awkward position that Justice had on the wall. So you put that low, he's forced to kind of hang off the side wall and really land on the ball. So that save's not going to be what he needs. So great finish there from Creams, the highest savior, shot taker, and goal scorer. MVP earned for that Northwood win.
Just about over 30 shots taken in that game. That just showcases just the defense that's putting on, because, you know, usually you're like, hey, well, that just means they're putting on everything on net, right? Just take shot after shot after shot, pester the net. I don't think that's been the case. They've been really good, strong, grade A chances that they've been looking to put on net. Both teams have had answers for it, and we better buckle up, Pyro J, because I feel like it's going to be a very, very long series based on that long overtime we already saw. I have a hunch that that's not going to be the only overtime we see, whether it's one series or two.
Absolutely. I mean, the playoff bracket was full of game sevens. I love the fact that we got this overtime. I looked at CRL matchup these guys had in league play. That one went 3-2 all the way to game 5. I mean, this is bound to be the back and forth grand finals that you hope, that you wish for, that you desire in NECC Division 1 grand finals. But it's also exemplified by exactly what we saw in the game. It's what you said. They're quality shots and followed up with quality saves. And I'm impressed as well by players who seem to be doing it on both ends, calling out Creams and Royale specifically. Royale was primarily the goalkeeper, but seemed to be putting up some of the best chances for Fisher in that overtime. So I'm excited to see how those roles shift as the match goes.
Exactly, and I think it's attributed and showcases exactly that end-to-end Rocket League we were talking about that we're hoping for, too. It just means that your teams are operating basically super efficiently out of your defensive side, which makes for some, number one, super exciting Rocket League, which I'm all about, obviously, but also it seems more efficient that way, too. That's how you catch defenses like this off guard, if you're going to at all. There's a couple of breakdowns, and the only time we really saw that is when it basically a blink and they got from the defensive side to then on target. Otherwise, you're basically kind of predictable at that point in time. Either that or you let yourself kind of fly with way too much room for a solo play. Either way, that's never looking good. You want to make sure that you have that full capability, and those are the two leaders. I would totally agree with you as far as who's getting it done in that regards, in that sense too. So getting a bit of a reset here on this lobby as well as we speak, as we are about to gear up for game 2, a long overtime and potentially a long series too. I think focus will be a large key here. It always is, but especially if Fisher ends up resetting that bracket too, it's already going to be a long first series, probably going to be 2 if Fisher can get the job done here.
Well, that break that they had before Game 2 began is over. So hopefully that extended break as we fix the server helped the teams not be too exhausted, maybe help their endurance, as we might just get that extended match, that bracket reset. But in order to get to that bracket reset, it would have to be Fisher responding in this game. They not only allowed Northwood to win, they also allowed Northwood to score 3 uncontested. So they're at a bit of a deficit themselves.
One they can certainly have proven to have been able to dig themselves out of if they got into, which is pretty rare. But certainly a resilient bunch. We gotten to know them extremely well. Look at the passing play already, but Hockey read that one nicely. Because if Drew was left alone there, trying to read that would have been absolutely hectic. And now we got passing the other way here too. Both teams looking to light the lamp here early, but Northwood will fall short as Fisher College able to track that one too. And Hockey now has got a demo, has got Drewy wide open. The physicality pays off. Northwood back on top in game 2.
Well, normally it's a goal line demo that allows for the shot, right? But this one actually happened in midfield. Notice how the other 2 defenders for Fisher were in the corner. You get rid of that third wherever they are, and you've got an open look on that center pass.
Yeah, already cheating up and found the advantage for it. We love to see it for Northwood. Now you need a response here from Fisher. They already dropped the overtime game 1, and now things are starting to get away from you in that sense. And oh, pretty chaotic, super fast move to the goal. Wasn't able to find a way to pinch it in. Royales will go up high, looking for Justice. On the far side, was able to find him, but a little bit too hot to handle, at least to direct it on target. And now Creams gets a massive bump there. As Ivan was looking to strike, his shot from Royales was surprising the defense of Northwood, but it stayed wide. Still in danger zone here from Northwood. Need a clear, they'll get it.
They earned themselves some time, and they might earn themselves a shot. How about that double tap from Drewy, forcing 2 defenders from Fisher again? We saw how the first goal from Northwood was a result of Fisher bunching up in the corner, and watching them double commit again exposes their vulnerabilities. They've got to become more stabilized on defense.
Stabilization's a key. When things are happening, developing quickly, got to be able to rely on that. What a save! Late flip there from Hockey will keep that one alive and out. And Fisher College do just enough to be able to escape. Royales will punch it right back in, though. They're looking to basically waste no time whatsoever, but they're on their way back down. Now Creams will look to press it forward. That actually works on the 50-50 as they'll play catch. Now Creams was waiting for Drewy, but wasn't able to get out. But Hockey will take a shot as well. It gets to the box, but Ivan able to fight that one off as well.
And Ivan will be stripped of that one. It's a quick rebound from Justice. Hockey secures his 4th save of the game. Has truly been that defensive warrior for the team and has needed it. It's only a 1-goal lead. Stop made this time by Creams, but Northwood struggling for boost. That's Creams on full as Drewy is the lead man for this attack. Off the backboard, tried to power slide into a double tap, but it is saved. Another double commit from Fisher. Ivan awkward off the post. Pass off the backboard along with the demolition from Hockey, but Royale strips it away. They're going for the big goal off of the backboard. Reed is there from Justice to tie it up.
That's huge because they were certainly being cornered to some degree. You know, Fisher was looking for ways to get out, and so they needed a big play to really spark them, especially since it had been a long time. Let's call it over 7.5 minutes since they got their last goal, number 1. And number 2, like I said, keep Northwood out in the meantime and be able to equalize here. They'll be able to get themselves at even ground, minute 35 left. If things play out the way that they have been, we'll see what happens here, but it seems like this series has been extremely close, continues to be that way. That shot to the far corner, not quite able to find it on target. Right back out it goes. Cream's got some space here too, but as Royale's following him all the way, knew if he went for the bump, they'd be able to clear, and sure enough, they do. That passing play will challenge the back wall, a bit awkward, but Northwood do a great job to keep it away, and out to midfield they'll go.
Fisher have been doing a better job at keeping those layers a bit tighter and stabilized, as we mentioned, on defense, right? If a goalie does get bumped, they have someone else to cover their back. But they're still double committing, and they're still getting demoed, and they can't stop. The flip reset double tap of Creams, or at least I thought. Ivan pre-jumped on the right side, exactly where Creams decided to take it.
And sometimes it just works out that way, and you take it, and you move on to the next one. And that's what Drury's doing. Has a demo there too. That shot going to be fought off as well. Right back in the hands of Royales. Lead blocker out in front. It's got Justice, who try to redirect it to the far side as well. Maybe throw them for a loop. I like the creativity. And now they'll leave it back. Justice right back up. Ivan trying to redirect it. Gets the demo too. Sets it up on a tee. But teammate had peeled off of it. But still left there too. Another shot taken but fought off. Fisher College mission opportunity, but you got to get right back to it. 3 seconds, looking for the far side, but tracked down by Drewy again. And guess what, Pyro? We go back to overtime, my man.
Let's do it. Oh, wow. What a wacky kickoff. Both teams taking it a bit slower. And now the fake turns into the flick from Drewy. A little creativity sprinkled in the initial face-off for this overtime. Boy, oh boy, yeah, these players are just not getting a break right now, Bear.
I mean, they are just like, it's been an awkward sequence for a solid minute and a half. The team that maybe get it back on track might be the one to find success here. If you're Fisher College, it feels really bad if you're not able to get it done here, right? A couple overtimes where you had opportunities. Surely you could have surrendered it a little bit earlier here, so they'll think there's Lucky Stars that that's not there, but another challenge here, and that one very close to being another win for Northwood. They're still on it, though. Will charge into the box, but nobody there. Royale is able to get to it. Now at midfield, Ivan the slow play. Gets it over Drewy. Off the crossbar, follow-up is saved as well by Northwood.
I mean, that was almost a replay at twice and then 3 times over play from Ivan. A solo march up the field where he's basically 3 boosts away from tapping it in. And it's been some excruciating losses for both teams in the last minute or so of gameplay, but certainly that means at some point some team will find their shot. The long clear is met quite easily by Royales, but nice interception from Drury. Doesn't want to allow Fisher College to cook. Hockey upfield to get the redirect. He's bumped away. Justice clears it out. And it's going to take more than that from Northwood to get through that defense.
Drury says maybe the sidewall double tap. Nothing doing though. Off the back wall, they'll have to try to play it. Track down yet again. We find ourselves in a situation almost at 2 minutes in this second overtime as well. If you're just joining us, the first one over 4 minutes before that was decided. But Graham's wants to end it now. Drury back up for this one too. Tries the back wall instead, sets up a teammate, but from the sky is Royales to keep this one at bay. Now might have an extra touch just to direct it on target, but Drury was back in a hurry in the right place, right time. He's got space to work with now on his end, as it'll just launch off that corner. But Hockey tracked it. So did Ivan. But Graham's off the corner. And Justice still going to be 50-50. And Fisher College able to get it out. And that touch, maybe not an ideal one there for Northwood either. But the end-to-end continues here in overtime.
Oh, this could be it right here. The shot right above Justice. No, is stopped. And maybe Drury had time to waste there as the bump could have came through, but there have been some miscommunication plays out of Northwood. On counterattacks, they're not passing, they're taking the solo play. On these double bump attempts, they're just not taking the time required for it. Sometimes you got to let the play marinate and cook into what you want to take. But instead, they got to watch Fisher march down the field again.
These overtimes feel like a slow cooker, I'll tell you that, Byro. It's a long process to be able to find your way through and cook something up here. But it makes it for a more tender, delicious finish. And that's what we're in for. Yet again, in Game 2, we've been absolutely treated in this first matchup tonight, as we knew we would, given the circumstances, given the teams. But this is going to be Fisher College with a banker down the field. Off the corner it goes. Hockey needs to be able to field it, try to get out of the way of your teammate. Had the better look at it. Royales has one up already. Ivan with that pre-jump. The thing was, when you're up there, wasn't able to quite find that angle. And so you give away possession once again here to Northwood, who still going to be pinned on their own side, shielded in the corner by Fisher College. But Kramer's going to keep them there too. That's a loose pop there as well. Trying to find the corner, but somehow Royales, it felt like he knew there was no other reason to be in the corner. But now chopped at here in the box. Opportunity from Northwood. And Fisher College, they're sweating right now in a bad spot here, low on boost. Finally, Justice able to get to it now and challenge on the other side. Couple of touches right there, top of the box, right back down. Now in transition the other way. Northwood looking for that bump, and Creams almost made it happen off the reset.
Uh-oh, 1v1, Hockey scaling back. Okay, they get the touch away, but they're not out of the woods yet. How about that touch over to Hockey? He's able to manage to get another flip reset play. I mean, that's what Northwood's going for now on the counterattack. They're saying, all right, you guys aren't giving up our shots, so we're just going to flip reset, bump our way through. However, that tall touch gave Fisher a glimmer of hope. Justice pushes it off to the side as Drury wanted to grab some boost, get a bump, gets nothing. Northwood out of fuel on this attempt. They'll lose it instead to Justice going for the bump play. There's the shot. It's saved by Creams. And we've got a full 5 minutes through an OT.
Oh, what a game. What a series. Already continues. And Fisher College need to recognize with those bump plays, right? Your solo flip reset into bump plays, it takes Northwood out of the play for just slightly longer. So being able to take advantage of that is going to be key here. But on the Northwood side, I think it's a great choice because they've had the much better looks every single time they go down now with this approach. So it's really just a bend, but who will break moment. Back wall presence there from Creams, but not able to get the touch. Now you see Hockey just trying to launch it around the corner to find Drewy, but eventually he does get to it, but it's not until they get to midfield. Almost up to the 6-minute mark. Another shot, another save here from Fisher, and the cycle continues.
When you mentioned bend don't break, I think part of what's allowing these teams to not break right now is their demo and bump evasion. The vision from these competitors is top tier. They're making sure that they do not get bumped last, or they do not get bumped when they're protecting the ball, as Royales just did on that play. And just does. Will trying to play this away. That one dangerously in the center of the field. The shot took a little longer to come, though, as Kareem shot saved. This one top corner placed. Put away by Drewy. And all this time, I thought the defensive masterclass would be from Hockey, but that, in regulation time, is a far sight from what we're seeing now.
It's incredible, isn't it? We're over 20 minutes of gameplay, and we're in Game 2. We've been playing for 25 minutes of gameplay, or it feels like gameplay, but 25 minutes. It's been 30 minutes of gameplay, and it's been just 2 games. 6 minutes, 50 seconds in overtime. We will find that slight advantage you need. Won't be Royales this time. It was Hockey there and Ivan dependent at midfield. It's Drewy up for this one. The demo is available, but Just is able to get right back to it, back down. A perfect time for a clear and give away possession because they're in a rough spot yet again, but Northwood still hasn't found a way to strike. At least not yet. This one loose. Drewy's got the slow play, bumps in front, still can't put it on target.
That was it. I mean, you got the beat, you got the bump. You can't ask for much more on that play. Really, all you need is a flick on target. And Drewy goes for the flick that actually is going to set up Royales. Got the flip reset, got the dunk. Oh, towards the goal line, but Kareem's had too much of the ball to allow Royales to solo effort their way into the net. So both teams pulling punches, but no one's landed that KO blow.
Not yet. Continues on. Incredible work for both of these teams. The resilience, you can tell. This is more than just a regular game. This is what I'm talking about, Pyro. NECC Finals, Division 1 style in every single way. And we're heading towards every record in the book as far as overtime link goes. But an opening, and Royales will finish at the 8-12 mark in overtime. Fisher walk away with the second overtime win here.
Oh, I think Northwood wanted to bite off more than they could chew. Drewy went a little upfield to get the demo for the counterattack, but that was assuming Kareem's would have a touch on the ball and a clear or anything. Unfortunately for Northwood, they were beat at the wrong time. Fisher, they just survived longer.
Man, you can tell what's on the line here. It's not just the title as well. You know, we're talking about, land qualification. And you can tell both of these teams, their eyes get real big at the opportunity to be able to do that. So even when, just these massive circumstances that would break any team, not just like, some teams, lower teams, lesser teams, basically any team. And yet they still stand tall in those moments. That said, it wasn't a perfect game either by either team. You saw Northwood with a bit of a slip up there. They had every opportunity to be able to make this a 2-0 series there in overtime. Certainly want that one that we called out back, but there was a couple of moments that we saw that as well. For them to be that close anyways, and to being able to get their second one on the board is great, but you got to be able to finish it if you want to take out Fisher and silence them and get to them before the reset happens.
That's the great thing about Rocket League. I mean, you can have the best collegiate teams in NECC right here, and you'll still see them make mistakes, because who's going to drive perfectly for 13 minutes straight?
Good point.
That is just tough to ask for and tough to see, but that save may have been the toughest of them all. Fisher still have the blessing on their side of not allowing Northwood to score.
I was about to say, Pyro, it would have been 10 minutes of scoreless in a row to 10 seconds of game number 3 and find another one until Fisher was able to get back to you. And he had a teammate there on that pass, but they're actually demoed off the field, so they'll have to rethink their strategy walking in towards Northwood here. That touch is a great one to get it to himself, because they're left alone on an island. Bought enough time for the defense of Fisher College. Right back out they go with a great shot that actually challenges Northwood there too. And now Fisher trying to ride the high of that overtime win. They're in game number 2, and it feels like they're doing a great job to give themselves an opportunity, but Creams shuts that one down, and right back out go Northwood.
Ellis does get the stop there and actually plays the bump on Hockey, landing on the ground. Royales being asked of a lot on these defensive postures, but whether it's the bump, the boost, or the play on the ball, are all being made, and Northwood's drought continues. Fisher want this goal, though, as soon as they can claw it for themselves. In the midfield, Ivan puts this ball up to the ceiling. Justice has some space to work with here. It goes right against one, left on the other. Steals the boost, but Drury able to escape defeat.
You can tell both teams not breaking down completely, but mentally it is tough. You have to have a calm energy at this level to be able to function at the speed of which you're seeing here. And to make saves like that after how long we've gone in the first couple of games is already impressive. Game 3, and we're already talking about the fatigue that can set up at playing at this level every single moment. It feels like every mistake could be taken advantage of. Both teams handling it well, but it will come down to that if this series continues this way.
Jury's beat to the ball there, and Hockey's been demoed, so it was up to Creams to make that play. As the last man back, and certainly did, wants to transition that end-to-end, gets the flip reset, but as is usual, these quick aerial plays are nipped in the bud very early on. Pass is telegraphed, Justice has it taken care of, and no, will not take it across the field and away. Defense has just been a little too speedy for teams to sneak away goals like that, but Ivan hold the play to themselves, and the pass over to Justice is denied. Royales will be the last defender. Hockey has Drury to help, takes it across the side, but somehow Royales puts it away.
Every single player has a contingency plan and can put it into action extremely quickly, and they do so effectively. Love this. As Hockey goes up high, but unfortunately lost control. You can tell the target was on the sidewall, but you gave up possession. Justice going for it. What a save. Follow-up is there, though, and Drury shuts it down yet again. Wow.
Ridiculous. As you said, there is a plan for each player. And again, they're able to make the stop. I mean, I feel like we've been in overtime this whole regulation because no one scored and we just keep going, no replays. But no, it's been a regular game of 4 minutes. And I'd say no scoring, but this looks like the best of them all. No, not even that'll go.
Even the best ones, Spyro, seem to be shut down. And I'm here for it. I love a defensive struggle. This one, though, is a defensive struggle, as now it's Hockey to break the ice finally. 4 minutes and 17 seconds into game number 3, and Northwood takes the lead, a big one when scoring is coming as a premium.
Royales will gotta be kicking himself there, but you really can't be that upset. You've made so many excellent saves, and having to make a squishy save with a 0 boost in that position is miles more difficult than anything we've seen so far. Hockey's a great striker to punish it as well, and he's a great savior too. It's a wonderful save as the tip of the Fennec gets a piece of that ball. Justice kind of wanted the pass over to Ivan. It's not going to happen, though. 30 seconds, and Fisher have the pressure on them.
They do. They know the stakes. Every single game counts. Northwood's looking to just hold on to it. The way things have been trending, they have the best shot at it. But you never know. What a passing play. Oh, the pace was insane, but Creams able to shut it down again. Defense seems impenetrable, but we're down to 7 seconds. The push needs to happen now. It has been happening for a while, but they need to break through, and Creams will kill it. Great job to kill the momentum, but still available. Here's Royales. He's got Ivan. Back while it goes, but it will hit the ground. Northwood will prevent overtime in this one with a late-term goal in Game 3, and will take this one by the count of 1-0.
Oh, we played enough Rocket League for a team to win a best-of-7 and then some, but the series is only a 2-1. North would take the lead, and with defense like this, I mean, we have that 1-0 score after the 8-minute or so overtime. you start to understand why teams prioritize the disruption play, right? Some of the best chances were that leading blocker, getting the bump together. The only goal that happened was forcing a team on 0 boost, right? Disrupting in the form of taking boost from the other team. It's the only way to get through. Otherwise, you can put up those insanely quick redirects like we saw from us at the end of the game, or these wonderful passing plays that still get intercepted, and it's not enough. Players have to disrupt their opposition.
They do, and Northwood's been doing it just slightly better. But what Fisher has been doing a little bit better, in my opinion, has been creativity when you go to the opposite side. That's taking nothing away from Northwood, because we can say the exact same thing. What I mean by that is just being able to have the extra touch in your back pocket. We've seen off ceiling, off into a reset, then flip it back wall. Just trying to find the little gaps that Northwood gives. And they're not many, granted, but I feel like Fisher's trying to do it from that alone. But now you see the physicality coming out from Fisher as well. So both teams understand the assignment for sure, and that's why it's been so close. But yeah, it's wild to be sitting here in this game number 4 with a 2-1 after so much game being played. I even got a little bit of help on this one. It's kind of crazy to watch that happen.
Yes, he did. The flip resets there. Oh, Truey going for the ball. Maybe a bump, but... yeah, there are those rare occurrences in Rocket League where the bump works against you.
And none bigger than in a series like this, where goals, well, they're just not a whole lot. Can't buy one. That one, though, again. A freebie. Northwood's given up a couple of looks. Go right back down to it, and Drury wants the far side, wants to take it by storm. The follow-up is available, and Creams will tap it in. Fisher, unfortunately, got their wires crossed there on the backside. Equalizer pretty soon after.
It's a tough position for Royales to play because you have to avoid the bump, and in doing so, lands on the post awkwardly. It just doesn't have time to recoup and set themselves up for the second save. So Northwood happy to catch that one early, as we have mentioned so many times that scoring hasn't become the most easy thing in this match.
Yeah, we have 2 in the first minute, surprisingly. Maybe opening things up here, if you will. As yet to be seen. Oh, good patience here from Fisher to keep it there. But Drury ran into Fisher there at midfield as Royales. And Hockey isn't able to get a touch, too. It's kind of left there. Ivan will get flip reset first before looking to push it in. And Just Us gets a second touch off the potential clear there from Northwood. Now, open net. You'll take that all day, every day. Royales. Best look they've had for sure. 2-1 lead now.
Another boost situation here. I think Hockey's third and looking for something, because otherwise they're on an empty container. And you saw Cream still climbing on the corner. Caught out. And Royales very happy to get that lead for Fisher.
Feels really good. And now they might have another one, too. Wow, strong arm play. Royale is flexing his arms on this one, Pyro. And those are the extra touches I'm talking about, right, Pyro? It's just like they find ways to get their body in front of it. Even if they're about to land into a 50-50, they're winning those. And now they've got a couple of demos on this one, too. Easy up and in. Fisher College has blown this one wide open with a 4-1 lead. Production, we are good to go yet again. So again, a 4-1 lead currently for Fisher College is pretty wild. And they might have another one here too. And it feels like this boost control is working wonders on top of the demos. This an opportunity though from Northwood the other way, but it goes high. And this game has just been Fisher College finding wins, and Northwood probably a game to forget at this point. I know there's half a game left, Pyro, but so far it has not looked good for them in this one.
And plus, you're asking a team who's scored maybe 2 goals in the last, 15 minutes of game time to score 3 now. And that just feels so impossible. But 2 minutes of gameplay and another shot from Fisher. All right, maybe you've convinced me. Maybe Justice has as well.
And typically when these happen, and you haven't seen that breaks out of a defensive struggle, if you will, you get a one-sided tilt. You're like, hey, maybe they just woke up. No, these guys had 30 minutes to warm up. It's just Fisher's finding ways around Northwood right now. And I think it's just maybe just a one-off situation. I don't see this being held up by Fisher per se, especially with how close it's been. But this has been a barn burner on one side of the equation, one side of the coin only. Fisher get their 6 and just continue to just be dominant in this game.
They're burning hot. That is for sure. And I also think back to the moments in that game that went into that 8-minute overtime, and it was the saves made by Northwood. We could have had games where Fisher racked up the scoreline as well, had it not been for excellent saves out of Northwood. I mean, there's another one from hockey, right? If it's not for just exemplary defense, this is the kind of Fisher scoreboard that you're going to see.
It certainly is. Thing for Fisher is you kind of wish that you kept some of these goals in your back pocket, maybe, Pyra, because if you were able to kind of distribute that across the board, you'd be feeling pretty good. But this is just going to be one win at the end of the day, it feels like, at this point. For Fisher College. So Northwood, that's the good news for them, I suppose, is that, yeah, we got bodied here, but, we're still going to be equal as far as the series goes. Get back into that defensive prowess, the defensive, zone, that vibe, and potentially work from there. You kind of just have to brush this one off the shoulders for sure if you're Northwood.
Yeah, maybe you're hoping that Fisher a little out of tune on their defense. That save that was just made was the first registered save of Fisher this whole game. That's going to be number 2 from Royales, as this one's converted back to Drewy. Does get through 1. Seemed like Northwood were cooking up a little bit, started to pivot off, but Drew's actually going to miss that mid boost, which is going to slow down Northwood on their advance. Under 30 seconds, and Fisher have completely shifted the tone of this series for a team that, needs to bracket reset. That's a good thing, but wow, Creams might have just put an exclamation mark at the end of this one.
Here, I was sitting thinking, hey, that pass is well too high. No way he's going to be able to oh, he did it. Insane angle, by the way. Hey, if there's something that's going to spark your team after dropping a game like this, it would be something like that. Just a high-energy, high-paced play to get you going again, get you in the right track, get you back and rolling. But Fisher College will take this one decisively. Northwood started to pick things up, but it was well too late in this game in particular, and we're back even at 2 here in the series, Pyra.
And again, it's funny how this game started. It was that Drewy bump into Ivan after the flip reset. Kind of a fluke goal from what we thought. And it was like, okay, well, don't expect that to be just a Fisher scoring spree just because of that. But then it was. They racked up probably nearly triple the amount of shots from Northwood. And at a certain point, it was too much for them. Royales had a great flip reset dunk play. We saw the double demolition from Fisher. These are quality offensive strikes that secured such a convincing win.
Yes, it did. I'm thinking back to, of course, our notes that we had for how do these teams, the uncommon traits that will really get the job done. And to be fair, I told Northwood, hey, just win the close ones. So that one, obviously not close. Maybe they want the close ones back. Sure, they surrendered in overtime, but they also won one Not to mention they won a close one in Game 3 as well. So I think this opens up the door for Northwood to brush it off their shoulders like they need to, be able to get back into the other one. But you were right. I mean, it was extremely interesting seeing as, a team that makes a mistake early, potentially lingering on it, even if it's like the slightest linger on it, even if you're thinking about it slightly, you can just see that the level across the pitch can absolutely expose you in that way. Luckily for Northwood, they were able to get a little bit of that momentum back in the tail end. We'll see if they can carry that into this game as well.
Oh, yeah, that double tap from Creams was ludicrous. And even off a bad game out of Northwood, Creams did go 2 for 3 in that game. I think that's a player you look to maybe get this Northwood team heated up again.
That's what they're looking for. It's a hot day down in North Carolina where I am. They're looking to heat themselves up as well. Finally starting to feel like spring. But Creams has every opportunity here. Now into the box, Hockey going to launch one. I think it was high, but they weren't taking chances. They were credited with the save, so it was probably close to being on target. Definitely don't want to let that one fly. They didn't. And now it's right back in the hands of Northwood, though. Hockey finds a teammate. Great shot launch, but Royale is threaded. Creams back up for it, but found in time by the defense as Ivan will just punch it out. Now you got Royales challenging Northwood as they're on the scramble backwards, but an accidental touch backwards. At least it's into the hands of your own Fisher College team, who is back gathering boosts as it was.
Just a calculated back pass, of course.
Yep.
And there's been some great link-ups from both teams, really. Royales, that pinch, well high, but hold on. There's no interference on the ball from the backboard. On the replay, you can see it. Up goes Drewy. Just didn't get a handle on it.
That's right. You missed it. That pinch was actually different, man. Because, it had the pace that you would never expect, but then it hit the back wall in the exact right spot where you needed it to be. So not only was that pinch the exact velocity you wanted, but also exactly where you wanted it to be. Pinpoint accuracy on it. So it worked out well there for Fisher. And now Northwood, after all that momentum was built back, and you felt like they were going to come out really striking and trying to put it back onto Fisher College, they took the lead directly back. They are in trouble here, though, as Creams will challenge into the corner, shielded away temporarily. You've got Aki looking for a teammate, but that one's just going to stick close to the wall, not giving them the angle they're looking for, and Fisher's able to get it right back out, but punched in again. Creams uses his ceiling, trying to get it back down to himself. Left loose, though, and open, and Northwood will equalize with 2:59 in Game 5 left.
It's great to get their opening there. It was a dart of a pass to Creams, and he just puts that off the ceiling. Says, listen, you got one to beat Hockey, and he lunges in for the 50 that leaves the net absent. They just hammered away at that net until there was nothing left.
Sometimes that's what you gotta do. Just keep at it. Continue the trend. Be relentless. That's what they're looking to get to. It's been an identity of theirs for a very long time, by the way. Love to see that culture remaining there at Northwood University. But you see Creams, bit of a miscommunication there. It seemed like Northwood a little bit close to one another. And now left empty. Royales has the demo too. Great support, though, as Drewy got across. Still chopped at, though. And the chaos remained for Northwood. Left the door open from Fisher College. They'll regain that lead.
Well, the warning lights go off immediately when you see that double demolition, because we saw it in the last game. And as if that wasn't enough, I think the last goalie out of Northwood was getting hunted as well. There's just no escaping the fangs of Fisher.
All over it. All the time. Fisher College, after being down in the series, looking to take a serious lead of their own. But great play. That shot well wide. Right back in. Had an open spot. Wasn't able to slot it, but it's back to Hockey. He's got an opportunity. Flip reset to try to push it further. Was red and shadowed all the way. Still left here for Drewy. Challenged the back wall, but it was red easily. Morales was able to jump to it. You're at midfield. Off the ceiling it'll go. Just us. Right back to an extra touch with an air roll. Drewy was able to track it down with low boost, however. And now they did collect it just in time as Royales was on it. Hockey on the challenge. It's just us. Right back up. Looking to get back to it. The flip reset will get past one, but not two, as Creams was easily back for it in time. And Fisher College are playing a majority of this, even with the lead trying to play it on their offensive side, but they have their hands full. It's Drewy from basically midfield to equalize us yet again.
It's felt like third time's the charm for me for Northwood because they keep going for these springy counterattacks. Almost every clear is met with a player upfield looking to rip the shot across, right? We saw that one that was speedy as ever, beat the defense, but went wide. They finally connect on that one, and Fisher know now they've got to look out for the Northwood counterattack over everything.
It's almost like we could have figured this out in the first place. You know, you're seeing a very European style. Sure, one is from Brazil, right? So, Royale is, of course, from Brazil, but you're seeing that type of style of just like one after another solo play type of situation. And the North American side, it's a little bit different. You got the passing, basically midfield, two styles clashing and finding equal grounds. But that one is a dangerous look here from Northwood, but Creams tracked that one down easily. Ran out of boost, though, so not able to stay up in this play, and Fisher College set it back down. And it begs the question, after so many overtimes earlier in this series, down to 33 seconds left, but that one's loose, though, off the back wall. An opportunity, and Creams does just enough to get it out and relieve pressure for Northwood.
Well, if either of these teams doesn't want to spend an extended overtime, they're going to want to score right now. Otherwise, get comfortable in that seat and get ready for extras. We'll see if anyone's got anything to say as single digits are on the clock. Hockey, no boost, so they'll go for the backflip. That'll get the most height on the ball. Creams, slow lob to the backboard. It's cleared out. Should hit the ground, and we've got a third OT for our series.
Here we go again. Will this one be settled before or after the 4-minute mark? 4.5 in game number 1, and then, of course, 8 minutes plus in that game number 2. And we find ourselves back at it again. Fisher will push back wall for this one. Once again, you see Northwood sticking to that identity, though. They want to find that pass to someone midfield. Seems to have found that Fisher is there. This is open hockey. Slow plays it instead. One to launch it on target, but saw two members back there from Fisher. Made the right choice, I believe, to slow play it, but it was tracked well as they were able to get back to it in time.
Yeah, almost every play from Northwood on that last possession was playing for the next touch. Drewy did it with a high air dribble. Hockey did it with the slow approach. Northwood are playing for possession right now, which is very different from that counterattack strategy we saw in regulation. Question is, will that flip actually disrupt what Fisher's expectations are to play defense? It could. Bit of a loose ball here at the midfield, just as one of boost, and so calls Royales to the plate to take the ball instead. That one just gets away, but Northwood not primed for that counter this time around. Instead, they go for the bump play. Royales dodges and hits the ball out.
And the way you're able to manage to do that with 20 boosts is beyond me. Like, just avoiding bumps, number one. You take a great shot there, too. Royales has been a true difference maker for Fisher. A large reason why they're here. And Ivan's got the short post and in. Fisher College with the overtime winner will push to 3-2 in the series.
What happened here? I thought we had at least 3 more minutes to go. I guess not. Fisher said enough is enough. Did a great job being resilient on defense. And then once they had that demo set up to go, they took it. For everything it was worth, Fisher are on match bracket reset point.
That's right. Exactly. Match 1 point, if you will.
Sure.
To try and get that. And that's step 1, of course. And, you know, it's just appropriately enough in my brain. I was just about to talk about how Ivan's been a little quiet throughout the entirety of this series, forcing Royales to basically, it's more so enabling Royales to do his thing, which is perfectly fine. So the fact that Ivan can show up in those moments and be able to strike through and really be that difference maker to get an overtime winner when you need it certainly spells wonders and exactly what you're looking for Fisher College. Again, when we talk about that April Fool's loss, potentially it is shaping up that way. I mean, they're looking pretty dang good against Northwood. We know they would, and that's what we're seeing.
It would be the ultimate fool. It really would. to say, oh yeah, the only match we're losing is on April Fools. Northwood don't want to be caught out as the fool though. You know, they haven't lost yet in the postseason, and they were the first ones to take down St. Clair Green in that upper bracket before Fisher had to do it later in the lowers. So they've both proven themselves against a team like that. Now they have to prove themselves against each other, and Northwood have the mountain to climb now. 2 wins in a row required to get it done in match 1.
Fisher coming up with a large win, and even when Northwood made the adjustments, able to get back to it. And look at them right back out into Ivan again. 5 seconds into this one after getting the overtime winner, and he's already back to work.
Oh, and I think Hockey went out of the lobby to change his preset. I don't know if that was the change that was required. That touch got away from him, and you just can't lob it up to a player like Ivan who knocked it down. Hockey wants revenge right away, is going to lose that ball as well. And Fisher seemed to get going right on time.
And when they're cooking, we saw it in game number 3. It was game number 4, rather. They were just on fire with their goal scoring, and so it helps for their mentality for sure to continue in that way to prove that they can get this bracket reset. But you got Creams to deal with now. All the way ceiling high, tracked in, but you got 2 members up. So an opportunity, but it's only temporary. And it looks like Northwood didn't take the advantage of that situation. Creams will play it in corner, but still, again, it'll sneak back out. Now have a bump attempt, but the squishy save comes out from Ivan, who's been huge in the last minute of gameplay.
Yes, indeed. Ask him if he's been quiet again after this game. I think there's something else to say. Players just have a knack for doing that, huh? Wonderful squishy save, though, to keep this alive here for Fisher. This lead alive and nearly extended. That is nearly a midfield pickup from Creams. Wanted to turn that play on a dime as it spit out to him. This one from Hockey gets right over the Justice. Nice carry out here, all the way from their own backboard. Creams has a hand in it as well. And the soft touch from Dewey follows into a flick. That pass seen all too easily by Fisher, as they have their backboard defense set up and ready to go for anything Northwood have against them. That is, maybe except for that, unfortunately, they don't get the friendly roll off the post.
That's right. Fortunately, Uncle Mo not on their side, but they're still after it here. Couple of attempts, pestering this net over and over again. Creams, that shot gonna go wide. Grand opportunity, but the accuracy just a little bit off yet again. Fall back into their hands. And let me tell you, Byron, one of my favorite things in this series is when one player takes a risk, because you know that it's going to be a opportunity the other way, and it literally goes back and forth until things settle. It's usually 3 or 4 attempts before that happens. So I love seeing when these players take risks. It just opens up everything, and the excitement level raises completely. These two teams, what a show it's been already.
Well, it's fun too, because there's always a risk to take, but it's only calculated risks that these top-tier collegiate players will execute. And so you know if they've done it, there's a good reason for it. It just comes down to, can they implement their plan? 6 impeccable players looking to make the difference. But Northwood, they're the ones that need a hero now. 2 minutes to go, still down 1. And with the scores we've seen in these games, that is not going to be an easy goal to take.
Oh, and again, Drewy should have been able to find that pass to you. A little bit off the mark. But now Drewy has the opportunity. Looking for Hockey there, too. Either that or a bump. And either way, Fisher still would have had the opportunity to get back anyways. And they're on it, too. Killing more time. Taking shots in the meantime. The best way to kill time is putting pressure on. Now, again, it's Northwood. And if they're going to want to look for these downfield passes, you have to be able to connect them, number 1. And number 2, be ready for them when these passes are coming at you here for Northwood. It feels like they're just not getting that done, at least not yet.
Ivan, though, has been the hero for Fisher and almost gets a second goal for their team. We're down to a minute remaining now as Northwood, instead of looking for that equalizer, are trying to survive on their own side. against a striking power from Ivan. It could come out from Royales now, who goes for the bump. Drury gets knocked away, and he's finding a hard time of getting to that ball. Has to reverse into it. Ivan, triple tap from the reset. Gets it off the backboard a fourth time. Northwood, only a couple chances remaining now.
It's crazy to see almost another flip reset off of that one. But yes, closer and closer, pressure mounting. Northwood can't find a challenge of their own, a chance of their own, because Fisher's been all over them, suffocating. Down to 24 seconds left. This is their best look yet. Cream's trying to go over Ivan, but he had other ideas. Shuts them down at midfield. A flip reset, I believe, in the hands of Drury. Did not get it, so had to leave it for a teammate. That might be okay. The loose change tapped away by Royales. Now it's down to 8 seconds left. Ivan just trying to get it away from Creams, and does. Now they're going to have to go to the length of the pitch. Drury looking for hockey. He's got it up, locked, and loaded. Back down to Creams. Shut down yet again. Still up, though. Now it's going to be tapped down. Fisher have successfully reset the bracket. We'll do it all over again.
It ain't easy to do it. You got to go to the lower bracket. You've got to beat teams that you didn't want to face again. Fisher had to get that problem off their back that was St. Clair Green and beat them in Game 7 to now get to Northwood. Look for that sweet revenge. Force the bracket reset, but they have done it. And what a performance, Bearlight. How many 1-0 games did we see? How many long stretches of overtime? Like, this is as even as a match you can get.
I'm telling you, man, it really is. It's that exciting. And for Northwood, unfortunately for them, that's a couple of check boxes they weren't able to check off. Number one, prevent the reset, not getting it done. Win the close ones. They won once. It was the overtime in Game 1. After that, it was either Fisher College winning the close ones or winning the ones that were actually favoring one team heavily, which is only one game, by the way. Every single other game was by one. It was insanely close, yes. But yes, it was Fisher College with a 4-2 victory, which I was expecting a Game 7, to be honest, especially with how close it was from both of these teams. The fact that Fisher was able to close it out then was very strong. And I mentioned at the very front of this broadcast, too, maybe it was in the green room. Either way, the thought was more times than not, whenever you reset a bracket, typically you can come back and be able to finish the job. Can Fisher do that against Northwood, though? Another story to be seen. They looked really great in that first series based on their defense, what Royales was able to accomplish early in the series, what Ivan was able to do at the tail end of the series, and how, Just Us was doing it basically throughout. They were so balanced, looked so good, but they'll need to continue that for yet another one. That's just the beauty of Northwood being able to get it done on the top side and give themselves an extra life.
They got that extra life to look to use it. We are giving our players a small break between both series, so we'll take a break as well. Be right back with match number 2 of our first grand finals of the night.
Forge Trials is presented by the Army National Guard.
Pyro, J, and Bearlight back with you here as Fisher was able to reset the bracket, so we do it all over again here in the Division 1 Finals. Of course, it was an exciting one when lands on the line. You can see these teams step up, and sure enough, Fisher was able to get the job done 4-2, surprisingly. Able to get it done pretty quick and in pretty strong fashion, too. But there were a lot of defensive struggles in that one. It was fun to watch, and we get to run it all back, my guy.
We do. I wonder if there's going to be a different tune to this second matchup, if new heroes come alive. I thought the defensive warriors that first series were Hockey and Royales, respectively, of Northwood and Fisher. I'm looking for them to do that kind of thing again. But late in the first series, Ivan came really alive on the offensive side for Fisher to secure some big goals and the winning goal in the game number 6. So here we go. Bracket reset, NECC Finals, Division 1. This is what it all comes down to.
And it comes down to a bit of chaos in the first 10 seconds, at least.
Oh, no.
Drury just kind of launched off the back end of that, and Ivan the misflip. That's not exactly what we expected heading into this game, I'll be honest, bro.
Right after I called out Ivan to pop off as well. That is a surprise, but he's kind of averaging out his performance for the matchup, I guess, because he was the first blood taker, if you will, the first goal scorer of, I think, 2 of the last 3 games. So I guess he's just making amends for his previous damage.
Yeah, the universal balance after all. Perhaps that's what we're seeing. This one will find just us and finds Drew too. Midfield Crames looks to settle it down. Almost had an extra touch in hand, but Ivan's able to shut it down and make amends. Off the corner it'll go, and now it's chased down here by Royales, just trying to bait in a member of Northwood. Successfully does it, but ran out of boost in the process, and Crames able to just launch it right back in as Ivan finds Royales. Now Hockey looking for Crames, looking for that extra touch we mentioned in the last series, and looking to continue that same trend. That's just find the next touch after it, make them quick and pinpoint accurate, and try to beat Fisher to the point. It didn't work a whole lot on the tail end of it as Fisher was able to shut things down early. So maybe things have changed a little bit early in this game too, but once again we find ourselves in a situation where one mistake would certainly be the difference that it has been this time. A couple of demos there too. Kareem's low on boost and did a great job to handle that one out to the corner.
Yeah, how about that? Completely out of boost, but still able to take down the solo play. Northwood just have that presence of mind to make the plays that's needed, be efficient with their resources, or as efficient as they need to be. There's Creams coming down off the backboard for that stop. Now Drew is going to be the last defender, plays under the demo attempt, and then plays the ball out and away. Good time saving for the team as well as Hockey's eliminated, gets the respawn, gets to the ball. 2 and Northwood are boosted up and ready to run it back again.
Drury's ready for this one on the side wall, but will it matter? No. Great touch away from Fisher as Ivan was able to be on it. Leaves it for a teammate too, but Hockey ready to go. Offside wall. Looks for a teammate, not available. A demo from Royales will free up the space. Justice will just clear it the length of the pitch, trying to get it away from Northwood, but punched right back in. 2 members back here from Northwood. Justice waits patiently, then we'll try to take it in on Koreans, and Koreans able to get to it first. And Hockey right back out of the zone. We'll flick it once. Royales tracks it down. It's a great outlet pass to Fisher. Fisher is trying to clear the zone at least. Took their time with this one, but it ultimately will pay off as they get it out to midfield. Now back and forth passing, launches a shot, but just a little bit high. Drury needs to handle it, and it does get it right back out, looking for Cranes, but again, the midfield presence to at least eliminate that idea temporarily.
Do you think that would have been the one that sealed it for Fisher, at least getting that first goal in this series? But instead, there really haven't been a lot of opportunities for either team. A grand total of 3 shots in this game, 3.5 minutes in. The midfield war has been serious, and maybe it will be waged in the form of demolition. Oh, Royales got the double demo, but the shot forthcoming was off target. Still putting in work here are Fisher on the demolitions, yet they can't break through. This one could be promising from Ivan, but Drury avoids the bump. Creams gets the next touch, but he lands on a teammate. And Ivan, oh, he was demo chasing. He wasn't ready for the shot. And somehow Northwood get out alive.
Yeah, and rewind back to Drury's play because avoiding the bump meant going lower on the wall, and still was able to adjust on that touch. But the demo is enough. Royales able to break through for Fisher. We sensed it might be coming. It was a matter of when, and apparently it was with 54 seconds left. That was nice.
Well, what's hilarious is I didn't even know if Fisher would score because Northwood are getting demo, but still staying alive. I'm like, they might actually make it all the way. Again, I mean, Fisher are on 3 shots, but they have to be on 10 demos. The multiplier between demos and shots is out of this world. Northwood have played wisely with their reduced amount of players on the field. But now they'll be forced to do it on the offensive side here. 30 seconds left in regulation.
Carry's going to be disrupted. Royales goes right back to it. Drury was prepared for it. Now that pass, just us a little bit late to turn, but still greatly timed. Royales, the challenge will go ceiling high, left open. Hello? Who unlocked the back door? Hockey will take it. 15 seconds left, Northwood on top.
Like a thief. Just took it from the logo to the net. Fisher absent where they needed to guard the goal line. And now off the kickoff, they need something. Royales picks up the boost. It's a tough ascent to the ball. Put down for Drury. He'll look for the touch to the backboard, making it tougher for Fisher to bring it across the field. Hockey's being chased. Royales has space. He tries to take it under Creams, but Creams closes the door. Northwood will take game 1.
Just from a breakdown too, it does not feel good for Fisher. But that being said, I mean, this is one of the risks that you take by being that physical. How many times did we see Northwood have to deal with 2 members of Fisher basically after them with a a death note of hey, we're gonna look to take you off the pitch? What does that do? Sometimes that'll sacrifice your positioning there, and it's we fail to see that type of breakdown very frequently because Fisher, like you mentioned to your point, take calculated risks. But if you're out of position looking for those demos, you'll eventually find some free opportunity. Northwood did in that moment. So that's what you risk. And if Northwood's able to find it, that's when they come out on top. That said, they took game 1 in the first match. Doesn't necessarily mean much. It's going to be a long series. We can buckle up yet again, Pyro. But so far, so good for Northwood.
Yeah, so far so good. I think for Northwood, they're focused on survival, endurance, and forcing those mistakes out of Fisher. In that game, they had 2 goals from 2 shots. There really isn't an onus from this team to rack up the shot count and get the, game that had 8 minutes of overtime where we had a total of 41 shots between the 2 teams. This is a different tune. And I think Northwood are just coming into this confidently and saying, we will outlast this Fisher team, even if they take us to another 8-minute OT. Granted, exactly. Even given all of that, we did have a situation where it was just an unfortunate mistake to start that game, right? So I'm really curious as to what the rest of the series will look like if Fisher don't just accidentally let a goal through at the start. Because if you remember how that last match ended, Fisher were those first goal scorers. They were typically the team setting the tone.
They were, yeah, that did change. And so, first and basically alpha omega of that game, first and last, it felt like those were the difference. And based on the first series that we saw, it was the very close ones, basically 1-0 games or 2-1 games to be that difference maker. So that certainly has changed. And so that is what I look for as well. I think, Fisher can certainly play one way or another. I think Northwood's done the difference in instead of just taking every single shot, let's find the right ones, especially the looks that Fisher have thrown at them. When you're having to constantly dodge, you don't really have that many chances to put something on target. Kind of forces you to make a decision. Is this a opportunity that we should take, Is this a shot we should take? And they've been pretty successful in doing that. Now, that being said, Northwood looking pretty shaky here to start as Fisher gets that hot start. Bar in, Ivan, a 1-0 lead for Fisher.
Kicked it off in exactly the way you'd expect from Fisher. Another demo against Northwood, and that spiraled them out of control. Goalie had no boost. The pass was left above the crossbar where they can't reach it, and their rebound was too easy.
Yeah, no hesitation. Right back out of launching a shot. That one tracked by Ivan. Now Hockey slows it down. Justice allowed the chance to jump on it himself. And that one's sneaking through the cracks a little bit. As Fisher failed to find a touch in that moment. Whereas by the time they collect, it's Drury right back on it. To the corner it'll go. Ivan to the ceiling looking to challenge into it, but you got Hockey, but Creams touched it away from him. And now touching it backwards, trying to find Drury, but you're pulling your teammates out of position here. They had to be careful, and they were pinpoint to be able to get it back to Drury, who's now somehow finding some pressure. Back pass. Now Hockey launches one wide of the target, though. Now Drew looking to settle it back down. Northwood looked shaky at first, but they're finally getting their tread under them and finding opportunities. But there were a couple of key mistakes there when they got to the opposite side of the ball.
I liked Hockey's idea. I think he saw the squishy save and wanted to put it to the side of the net and keep it away from Ivan, but you don't need to think about the placement of this shot when it's that open. Hockey and Creams kind of on top of each other as they leave the angle open for Royales.
And Royales will hit that every single time. Dead center, not going to miss it. Bullseye. 2-0 lead for Fisher. Both teams will send a cheating member of the team up on the kickoff. But it just kind of loosely played back to Fisher. There's been rare times where it has been a lead of more than one pyro. We find ourselves here again. The last time we really did see that was in game number 4 of the first series, where Fisher ran away with a 6-2 victory. So, that being said, though, Northwood finding good looks. Another pass, but it was just out of the target's reach. And it settles down in this quarter here for Creams. Launched again, and it'll deflect off a member. And once again, when Northwood, when they get scored on a couple of times, it feels like it all kind of falls apart.
I think they're a team that wants to close that gap immediately or never, right? So they're ready to make that risk if necessary, and boy, have they been punished for those. Fisher just too clinical of a team, I think, to allow Northwood to climb their way back as quickly as they want to. Now it's going to be a more difficult comeback for Northwood, going down 3 goals. They'll look for a more measured approach, perhaps, or they'll give up more goals to Fisher.
Trying to end that thought process, but it is not to be. Now you see extra touches. Maybe some unnecessary ones there from Fisher. Leaving the door open for Northwood. Hockey looking for a teammate, but unfortunately they're not on the pitch no longer. It was Royales out to get yet another demo, and they are just adding up continuously for Fisher as they turn and direct it, try to get it right back into the zone of Northwood. Ivan right on it, glued to it, right back out. Flip reset in hand, tries to challenge it, use it as a dunk, but Northwood able to find a couple of saves, but still working defensively in desperation.
Ivan is ready to pop off again from the ceiling, has a flip ready, but the ascent from Drury was immediate. Challenge made, Royales around the top of the backboard. That one's back to Drury. Creams' midfield, but may have to pivot off him to defense. Notice climbs back off the wall, and that touch leads to a backboard stop from Fisher. Fisher just everywhere that Northwood need them not to be right now. They've got an answer for just about everything Northwood want to cook up. And that's a difficult place for them to be. This one back at the logo. Justice picks it off the ceiling. Has an opportunity. Backboard tap will not go. Standstill remains in midfield as Fisher hold their very nice lead.
That's exactly what they're looking for, too. Once again, not allowing Northwood to really live and thrive in the offensive zone, so they're not playing on their heels. Although this one might be a freebie, they still shut it down somehow. And 2 members from Northwood commit a little bit too quickly. And every single time it rains, it pours in a game here for Northwood. They can't buy or break. Not in this game. And that one, floater 2, almost fell in for Fisher. And that would have just screamed trouble. It still does, though. So once again, Fisher in the driver's seat are just happy to just kind of ride this one out under 30 seconds with a 3-0 lead. Make it 4-0, why not? Royales opens up the gap, and Fisher will equalize in this series again. How many times have we said it?
Yeah, they've done it a few times. That is until they go ahead and they take the lead in the series and win it. That's what they did in match number 1. They'll hope to do it quicker here in match number 2. But yeah, what a resilient performance out of Fisher. It wasn't for a lack of Northwood trying to score in this matchup. You saw that last save from Ivan, missing the ball and then somehow backflipping, looking like this fantastic acrobat, able to pick up the saves, and the damage just gets dealt again. 4 goals for Royales in this game.
And I know it's a strong team, especially mentally. You don't get to this level of Rocket League without a strong mentality. Shout out to those who do work and get those mentalities strong. But at what point is it a breaking point for Northwood? Like, I get it, every single other game except for the one-offs are pretty one-sided, but this was about as dominant as it gets. And nothing was really falling or really going the way of Northwood. It is all Fisher in this one. Shot count. Even the saves were equal despite Fisher just laying on shot after shot. Like, this was basically dominant from start to finish from Fisher. Obviously, Northwood, it's just one game yet again. It's what kept it close in the last series, but I'm starting to raise at least a yellow flag. Maybe not a full red flag at this point, Pyro, but it's as far as Fisher goes, they are certainly cruising and feeling good about it regardless.
I think this is why I really wanted to mention the fact of that first goal that Northwood did obtain in game number 1. Fisher have really been leading on setting the tone and getting that first goal, and you can see they just right back into lockstep for Fisher on that game number 2 by getting the first goal. Northwood, I feel, really want to starve Fisher out. If they can prevent them from scoring and have the lead or have the game tied, that's kind of where they want this game to be. And once Fisher take the lead, it all falls apart from there. So here come Northwood to try again in game 3.
So it seems that Northwood need the first goal, and they will get it here in this game number 3. It's big for them. It really does. It feels like you need the first goal to get things going, to start to have the cards fall in your favor, and that's just simply with some physicality out in front of 1-0 lead for North.
Yeah, they'll have the test in front of them still to avoid the demos of Fisher, as they can't right off the rip from kickoff, but Hockey still has a lane here off the kickoff. Lip reset goal is saved by Justus. As this ball lofts still in the air, Drury does get a stop, and good for Drury to be in the action, under 100 points in the last game, and off a full 5 minutes of Rocket League, that's just not enough to get the impact that you're looking for.
Exactly. Well, that's Drury to the box, but just lost possession, gave it up essentially. Royales will now be able to march it in. That's 2 members committed here for Northwood 2, so a good look here from Fisher, but really nobody to follow up on that opportunity either. Now it's left here. Creams able to create a rebound opportunity, but it was handled well by Fisher. Right back out, they'll go. Justus was there, but so was Hockey. He's got Creams downfield, but maybe it took a little bit too long to get to it. Now a launch shot, big save. Rebound though. Back wall there and handled by Fisher. A great initial save and then rebound control again by Fisher.
And again, it is these immaculate saves from Fisher that have kept Northwood guessing on really how to get some of these goals through. But for Northwood, many a times, all they need is that one goal. That is the solution. At the end of the day, it's been a minute and a half since their first goal. South Fisher or them scoring. Justus, a player with 5 assists in the last game, tries to tee up another for Fisher, but fails to do so that time.
Back wall, just trying to direct something towards target. Creams had the outlet. But unfortunately found the wrong team. You saw Justice was ready for it. But they played a little bit loosely themselves, and that'll allow Hockey right back up in their place. 44 boost. Trying to get it past Ivan, but Ivan tracked it all the way. Not sure if he had flip reset, didn't matter because Crim's already up the challenge. He'll use the corner to get it around one, but Drury had some support. Now trying to find the middle, but Northwood was all over that moment. Now Justice tries to tap it away with the back pass here, but it's just off the back wall and tough to handle there from Fisher. It's a bit of a tough look, but they'll find their way out regardless.
Ooh, and they find their way out in Fisher fashion, going immediately for that demo. Northwood see it coming and get out of the way. Leales just dives in for an attempt on the dunk to pass it under the net. Couldn't do it. Ivan, reset will be taken as Creams rushes right into it. Creams loves those quick challenges on the aerial plays to cut away the flip reset chance. You never know when someone's coming through with that pop reset right into your net. There's all 6 of these players capable of pulling off something like that. Creams, this time around off the corner. Ivan has it taken care of for the long clear, but Fisher have to find some way to break through this back and forth that's leading to nothing for him.
There's one point in time where Fisher had the boost control. It's completely shifted the other way. As Northwood was able to find boost, they got full tanks across the board. Fisher doing a great job with their efficiency to keep their tanks still at half or above. But Ivan ran out. That'll be Crims right back in, gets an extra touch. A little bit off the mark. And now this one, an open opportunity from Hockey, but he misread it and wasn't able to get that shot on target. Instead, we watched it go wide, and they'll have to regroup and start from their own end.
Yeah, that was a tough look for Northwood. Pretty much had it wide open, just had to get to this shot quickly enough. Creams up for the save, had to dodge the demo. And now Northwood undergoing more pressure as Creams has no boost for this one. Gets a touch. Hockey directly up for the ball. Knew the danger of the shot forthcoming. Close to half a minute here. Creams, gets the barreling clear. Fisher gonna start to risk it a little more, and they've done it too much because Creams has taken over.
Don't hold me to it, but this might be the first time Northwood's had a lead that's more than one. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure, because they've been winning the close ones. But they finally pull away in the game, if you can call it that. They did a great job of holding on throughout that entire game. And then we're able to finally get the one that feels like it secures it, especially in a series like this. Well done to stay focused, stay in that mindset, even after what has already been a long series, even though it's game 3 in this last one. Northwood was able to hold strong here as they kill more time. 10 seconds left at this point. Fisher need one quickly. I don't think it's going to happen here. Got to go the length of the pitch, and it will not. No, it'll be Northwood to hold them off here and win this one 2-0. And they'll gain that lead right back here in the series. Northwood, their defense on point this time around, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, funny enough, I mean, it came from that back and forth. They only collect a single save that game on the single shot that Fisher pulled out. I mean, this was just end-to-end Rocket League that Northwood loved to play, which is take the lead and control it from there. Right? No team should be comfortable with a 1-goal lead the way that Northwood are. They get that opening goal, and then as we said, they haven't had that 2-goal lead yet this entire night because they don't feel the need to take it. They feel like they could set the tone and control it from then on out. So kudos to the team that's done a great job of, setting that tone, but also avoiding the disruption plays. You mentioned how they shifted the boost game back in their favor. They've done a good job avoiding the bumps and demos. That's what it takes to keep that control on lock for Northwood.
And if you think about it, that's a way that you can... Sorry, I had to pause. I was like, wait, no, surely that's not happening. It's just you have to consider that a great defensive effort doesn't look like a ton of saves because that means you're playing in desperation mode. But being able to cut off those opportunities and then create some on the other side is what it's all about. And that's what Northwood did in the last game. And clearly, they haven't missed a step in this one either.
Yeah, that's a great point. And no, they have not missed a step so far. Something about these games where they're so low scoring, but we get this first goal very early on, really sets the stage, either nicely or poorly, considering which side of the scoreboard you're on.
Oh,
That
no.
said, this one's a kerfuffle from Northwood. I don't know how they're out of this alive.
That's because I feel like, in my opinion, I think Fisher was kind of confused that Northwood was struggling as much as they were in that moment. Because you don't see it often, I'll tell you that. But now you've got springing back to it was Drewy, but Justice got the save in time. And now Fisher, completely unorganized. Northwood was able to strike, at least not yet. Royale should be able to get a touch right back down and does, but read nicely by Hockey. And still under pressure, though. It's right back down. Hockey punching at it defensively, trying to keep it away, trying to shield it, and they do just enough yet again to get it away from Fisher's challenges.
Yeah, crazy read on that shot from Hockey. He didn't have boost, so he just jumped up to exactly where he thought the shot was coming from, and he was right. That was the stop necessary for Northwood to hold their lead. Now Kareems wants to extend it. Double tap. It's right in front of the net. And again, I mean, there's no one from Northwood to score because that's not their prerogative at that moment. Instead, it's having a player like Kareems all the way on the other side of the field to play it back into the side of Fisher. Northwood keeping Fisher out of the danger zone.
Kareems shielded there in the corner. Drury wanted to sidestep them. Was able to do it. Now have their hands full at midfield as Kareems right back on it. Has Hockey down low. Wanted to just pin it off the backboard and catch two members of Fisher there on the back wall themselves. As they try to track it. But in the hands of Hockey, bumped away. Nicely done. It's Ivan right back at them, but Kareem's ready for it. That shot's going to be on target and in. Equalizer comes here from Fisher as they find just a little bit of the gap, and that's all they needed.
Yeah, Northwood want these really quick challenges so that no solo plays are made, but sometimes that puts them in a bad position for the 50. Kareems' challenge went right into his corner, the perfect pass for Royales, and that's a great aerial play to get the read and score the equalizer as Fisher tied up.
Timo, no surprise. Fisher's been playing that way. That's true. Drury. Just a slow play, just a test, just to see if Fisher was awake. They were. Screams will go back wall too. That one's going to be fought off yet again. Haven't seen an overtime in this series, at least not yet. You got to wonder almost, it feels like, when is that going to happen? If you're just joining us, I mean, it's been 3 of them in the first series. But now you got a good passing play, good read from Hockey. Stays with that one. Impressive job to be able to react in time, but now they're awkward though, and yet somehow Drury will dig it out from the back line. Northwood in trouble still though, as Ivan's here in the corner to try to answer back. But Northwood, they can't keep getting away with this.
As somehow they are, like you said, Fisher just surprised that the ball's in that position to begin with, because otherwise the defense has been formidable. There are moments where the gaps become a little more obvious, and Northwood showcase their vulnerabilities. That said, Drury will not be weak on the back line that time. Hockey has this ball right in his breadbasket, sends it to the backboard, but Royales takes control, flips right under the ball to get an extended air dribble, and now Northwood are playing together in their corner, all 3 of them, as if there's some kind of secret meeting to discuss in that zone, as finally they break out and try to get this stop in a more stabilized manner.
Both teams putting on a show. Continue it. Is the pressure here from this Fisher side. Ivan's got Royales. Royales does the rest here. Late term goal set up nicely by Ivan, just beating Drury to the punch.
It's another demo play. It's another setup Royales for success. Fisher are finding the best ways to punish Northwood. And now they've put Northwood in a tough position. They've got to score in the next 40 seconds if they want that match point.
And in fact, they had a great opportunity. Pass play, but shut down yet again. And Hockey won't beat that challenge either. Fisher right back out. Leave it be. And now Fisher Seems as if they've done enough to be able to equalize us again in the series. What a treat as it continues to be here between these two teams. They keep going back and forth, not only in games, Pyro, but it's been in the series score as well. Every single time it seems like a team gets too far away, one can reel it back in, and Fisher again get back to work here in this game. Just got to hold off for the 22 seconds left, and it feels like they're going to be able to do so with how much pressure they are bringing currently. This needs to go here, and it will not for Northwood. Hockey's still on this one too with that one in a big save, and that should shut it down. Any opportunity that they had here, Fisher will be able to equalize with an extra goal for insurance as well. Pyro, Fisher get the job done here in game number 4.
And by the way, this one's just dirty. I mean, the 360 from Royales, like, go ahead, challenge me, because if you hit the ball, it's going to get dunked in your net anyway. Not necessary, but at the same time, necessary. I needed those style points. Fisher varsity tie the series at 2-2 as the Timberwolves fall to that 1-3 or 1-4 score. As I think Bearlight Northwood scored first, didn't they? So
sure did.
this is finally a change of the tune of that first goal meaning everything.
Exactly. You know, right? It's because I explained it, but I mean, outside of that, you get that first one, but that fake at the end, I mean, let's talk about it because it's like, well, did it matter? It was kind of a useless goal. I don't know, man, because like every single time we've watched Fisher get hot and get their confidence rolling, they seem to play on a whole different level, which is crazy to say against Northwood, but they did. I mean, talk about why we're here. They were able to reset that bracket for you, and it's really off of the big performances they had and big moments and be able to ride that momentum. When Northwood did get that hot start, Fisher silenced them, and then we were able to come back and get that win. So that fake, I would say it's necessary. Number one for us because it's fun to watch. Number two, for them confidence-wise as well.
Yeah, and I feel like Royales' confidence meter is absolutely through the roof right now. This series in particular, he has been the primary striker of the team. And so if you get Ivan or Justice to get that nice flip reset pass at the backboard or that great challenge that whips off the corner and Royales is ready to score, you can just about assure yourself that one's going towards the net.
Find ourselves even at 2 apiece yet again. Same thing happened in the first series, and we're back at it. The only thing that hasn't happened yet is in overtime, but it feels like a matter of time. And Northwood, it still feels important to get the first goal regardless. It just feels like maybe it's nullified by Fisher, who are going to try to get it here, but a team bump will deny any opportunity that would have existed there, as that allows Creams to just jump to it now. And now Northwood running on time with the numbers advantage, but they did find Truey, and a great job to find them. But Creams has to play this one a little bit more patient. They were the third back. Finally, the team will rotate around, and they're safe enough to be able to challenge this in midfield.
Hard touch off the ceiling. As this one's awkward for Hockey. He's actually going to leave that for Drury. And Justice whips this across the field that Hockey's ready for. As usual, Northwood have a player up the field ready to collect that pass and activate their offense right away. Hockey tries to handle it carefully, but Royales read it right away. Something about Royales and this confidence, I'm telling you, is going to be trouble for Northwood in this game. Couldn't make it happen on that play. Justice trying to run interference as Ivan looks to continue the effort out of Fisher.
Pressure continues. To your point, Royales has it top of the box. Took a shot. Drury a little late to get to it, but does. Now to the corner he'll go. Allowed Ivan to just kind of park it on the back wall. Was looking around for a teammate, but couldn't locate one. But they still have this off the corner. Great second touch to get it away from a defender. A fake is out too. By the time Ivan took a shot, a little bit away from it, so it went well off the mark. Now you leave it for Hockey. Just enough boost in the tank to get right back up to that one. But Just Us shields it on the sidewall. It's Drury right back to it. Did not get the flip though. And so Creams will have to backtrack on this one. Being pestered there on the sidewall by Ivan. And guess what? Fisher right back on it too. We play end-to-end demo, but nobody to follow up now. Cream's looking to take advantage of it, but yet again, it's punched right back in from Fisher. But Hockey, again, a great read to get that save. Right back out goes Drewy, but third man has been ever so important in this end-to-end Rocket League, and both teams up for the challenge.
Oh, and Fisher up for the challenge, especially because Creams picked that 50-50 up and sent it directly to the net. Fisher had to be real quick getting back to their goal line, but they do make the stop. As we reach the midfield, Royales gets a pretty good beat there, but Drewy wants a solo play out of it. He's kicked to the ceiling. This play from Hockey had the double set up, though it is countered, and Justice misses that bump play. That could have spread the defense too thin for Northwood. Hockey, what a setup again. He wants that double the second time he goes for it, and he came so close.
He's hungry, and he's after it too. There's a difference between wanting it and being able to get it done, and they were very close. But you see Ivan. Tiny chain dash on the wall to get right back to it quickly. For it is Royales. The extra touch, he pushed it past Creams. Now trying to push it into the box as well, but left it loose. Enough for Drewy to step up on it as well. It's found from Justice, and right back in they go. Hockey out to midfield, but got a little bit far away from him, so that gives away possession. Now there, shot taken, but easily tracked down yet again from Drewy. Not a lot of velocity on that shot, and Northwood easily able to get to it as well. They're going to be demoed at midfield. Drewy now getting the physicality going from the Northwood side, and Ivan forced up to hit it to the corner, and they'll have to regroup from their own side.
Feels like we're getting to that point of the eventual overtime that we've expected to happen more than once, but we're still waiting for in this second series. Oh, and this is a little bit dangerous, but Creams actually is able to take care of it. Doesn't have a teammate in the wing to pick up on it, though. And Drew, I think just B2 tries to cut it inside on Royales, but Royales knew exactly what they wanted to cook up there. Justice picks this one up, air dribble dunk on the Creams. Hockey will be prepared on the backboard. Both teams have been prepared for any fight that the other provides, and that includes Justice against the Musty Flick. Does it include Hockey on the flip reset for Royales? No, but Creams had his back on the play. 5 seconds from OT. Ivan kicks it nearly above Creams. Hockey up for the shot, puts it down. It'll be OT.
They had him right where they wanted him, pinned to that back wall. Just not able to finish. In OT we go. Felt inevitable. But will it go the extended period of time like we saw in the first series? Northwood were an inch away there from Hockey being able to just end it with a 0-second goal instead. But here we are. Played into it again, and that's actually a miss jump. The touch plays right in the hands of Northwood. They're back out, but Ivan tracks it down, has the full tank of boost, courtesy of the corner pad, and able to just turn on this one. Just us. Need to get right to work. The demo frees up a little bit more space, but wasn't able to get the flip reset nor an extra touch. And that allows Northwood right back to it again. And the tension continues to rise as both teams have had their chances, but see them go by the wayside.
Northwood just collected their 11th save. Compare that to Fisher's single one that they've needed this entire game. The pressure's been there from Fisher, but the delivering blow will be from Northwood as Drury picks up the pass from Hockey.
Just two up a little bit too close, and then that extra touch was enough to draw in, bait in, and get past the third man of Fisher College. And Northwood, yes, they will win this one. And tell me if you've heard this before, a low-scoring overtime game to move into the lead, series lead, match point lead, championship point as well.
Northwood won 1-0? What? Okay, all right. I'll believe you, fine. Drewy got the MVP title on that one too. Credit to them, but this was a game that I think Northwood won by design. Again, 3 shots compared to the 11 from Fisher, whereas Northwood had 11 saves compared to the 1 save out of Fisher. So they didn't mind having to undergo the pressure and make the stops required to set up that counterattack or to position themselves to control the match and win eventually in OT. That's just how Northwood want to play, outlast their competition.
It's crazy they want to play that way because there's just so much tension in the way that you have to play that, because basically everything has to go picture perfect and you have to have a plan out to be able to get that done and deliver that type of way. And you have to have a strong team and strong belief in one another to be able to pull that off. Is the belief in this team strong enough to push them to the title after this game? It is match and championship point for Division 1 NECC.
Who will be your Div 1 champions? Northwood, just that win away. But if we've seen anything from Fisher, it's the fact that we know they'll fight back. And oh, the pinch play, you're kidding me, Ivan! Flip reset to pass into a pinch with their teammate.
That was unbelievable. You gotta get back down, and if you get that flip, guess what? You get so much more velocity off that pinch. And Northwood was not expecting that one. That had to be just out of left field. And off the kickoff, they also had the cheat. If it was not for Northwood on that one, they might have struck again, but you've got Hockey down to Drewy, who just lets it push off the car, back in the middle, but the shot gonna go wide, and Just is able to hit and settle it down here. A chaotic sequence after the first goal from Fisher, and they're gonna slow play it out and regroup.
It feels like for a moment that all strategies have been forgotten about. Every player wants to let it all loose and just go for the big plays. Some wonderful passing between both teams, but Fisher have had the better end of it, got the stopping power from it, as Northwood weren't able to execute on that pass. Instead, Fisher will turn it around. Centered pass delivered away by Kareem's. Justice loses the ball here. Will get a second touch. And it actually drops down to Royales 1v1 against Drewy. It's a formidable stop to that play. Demo on third. Could leave it wide open. Drewy with the touch to get it all tied up.
There you go. And what makes transition play even easier? Well, if you demo the third man, we said it a little bit earlier in the series. We see it manifest yet again here for Northwood. And the equalizer feeling really good now. If they're able to take this lead, Pyro, you're really forcing hands and Fisher having to be forced to get that extra goal, and they have it here. Not a kickoff goal. All right, Northwood, there you go. It's 2-1 lead.
Oh, man, Drewy turned on a dime and said, hold on, we won that cheat. I don't need boost. I just need ball. And takes it all for the lead.
Crazy development now. Super chaotic. Yes, game plans out of the strat at this point in time. Flip reset here from Creams. Glues it to the front of his car, too. Looked great from his angle, but it was just another read easily there from Fisher as they push right back out, try to mitigate some of the damage that has happened over the past minute or so. Northwood, for the first time in the series, have had back-to-back goals. Usually there's plenty of time elapsing in between before they get them, so good sign for Northwood, but another shot fired, this time from Fisher. But Hockey able to shut that one down as well. Just us getting the demo off of that play too. After one tug, Drury was backwards, but not hindered enough to be challenged by Ivan off of it, and Northwood able to relax a little bit here.
Fisher certainly not made able to, as their third got demoed again, so they had to make sure that all reinforcements were in place to stop Northwood from extending their lead. A slow play from Royales on the counter. Still Drewy's hand, giving up for the save, and now he's going to push it all the way down the field. It is interrupted by Royales. Will take a boost to play for the dunk, gets the bouncer across and wants to play for this 50 as well. Has beaten two players. Ivan's going to go for the shot, nearly redirected by Royales. I think Hockey went for the squishy though to save it away. Cream's flip reset, attempts for the bump, but Justice finds the block. That one off the ceiling. Royales will have the boost as well as Ivan to take it out.
Now punched in, but tried to get it to himself. Read well. Fisher right back up. They'll go up ceiling high. Royales over one, not two. Back wall controlled, sealed by Northwood. But look at the 1-2 passing. It was almost that quick, and it was, but it was just a little bit wide. And Northwood and Drury finds the pass. That'll shot wide or high as well. Now launch right back down and demo there. And you feel the time and the pressure really starting to add up here from Fisher, for Fisher rather. You know, there's a minute 25 left, but the way goals are coming at premiums, it feels like there's hardly any time at all.
That's been the story of the series, the story of the night. And the previous MVP will rise up again as Drewy extends the lead to 2.
Breaking point might be reached. Minute 18 left. Still time for Fisher, but now it gets even tougher. Literally twice as tough. Need to act and act quickly. Perhaps off a kickoff could do as they have them backside. It is going to be a dunk, so Fisher get it directly back.
Talk about exactly what they needed here. They push everybody up. You have to. Ivan gets the chip that he needed over 2 of the defense from Northwood. And Ivan really has been the creative playmaker of the day. And that X Factor utilized right when they needed it.
And pushing everybody, is that the solution to Fisher in their way that they want to play end-to-end? Either way, we'll see if that is the case. This one's up high. 1 minute remaining here. And now you've got the downfield pass! And an immediate answer! Northwood back up by 2.
Well, we started this night talking about the shoes to fill from Drewy in the absence of Zanil and how they've made their own on this team this semester. That is your player now 4 for 5 in what could be the game-winning setup for Northwood.
Now they want more. Flip reset far side. Shut down again. Great place to kill time is in their zone, but look at the room they have. Justice gonna try to throw that head fake. It's off the corner, but Cream's read it. Flip reset in hand, should play this 50 nicely. It is back down to the ground. Another big, strong play off the 50. Looking to disrupt even further. Another shot, it's open! And Northwood now should seal it with that one. As Fisher College may have reset the bracket, but Northwood running away with this all-important game number 6 here when they're on match point.
That looks like that's the finisher for this one. It'll come down to 8 wins for both teams, but that is what Northwood earned on their incredible playoff performance. Another stop is made by Creams, as we know very well what the result is. Northwood, your spring champions of Division I NECC.
Congratulations to Northwood for getting the job done in what was an insane series. It was the length of probably a best of set that went the distance as far as 3 sets go, because, I mean, that was a marathon and a half. And so to keep your focus throughout that series against the team and make minute adjustments, but many of them from both sides, was impressive to see the bounce back effort from Northwood as things went along. Fisher challenged every right to be, proved every right to be there, number 1. Number 2, to play them as long as they did. And I felt like they had the turnaround was just within their grasp. So the fact that Northwood able to silence that one speaks wonders about that team for sure.
And their ability to bounce back as well, right? They've had those 2 losses tonight where they lost by 5 goals. I think there was a 6-1 and a 5-0. And it's like, okay, Northwood, are you letting it slip here? And it just wasn't the case. Every game is a reset. Every game is a new chance for them to put forward the path that they want. They have a strategy and they implemented it certainly enough times to take the win. So a well-earned victory for them tonight.
No doubt about it. And that is just the crazy enough, the first series of the night. But we got one more on the docket for you. So we'll move down to Division 4 for the next one. Division 4 central battle between the University of the Cumberlands. Their Patriots will be taking on Mississippi State Maroon after this quick break. Don't go anywhere.
Forge Trials is presented by the Army National Guard.
like I am. It's colder, colder when I'm older, older than I am. And I know you know that I have lost composure, but I'll hold you closer while I can. I never told you that I'm slightly broken, that I might lose focus when I am. I know you know that life gets colder, colder when you're frozen over like I am. You'll still have common days. Get caught in traffic during your commute. Overthink a text message. Get a song stuck in your head. This is not one of those days. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
Welcome back to finals week for the NECC Rocket League side of things, and we have kicked it off with an incredible journey, and we have more Rocket League coming at you as well for the finals of the Division 4. And of course, this is the Forge Trials we have here at the NECC, presented by Army National Guard. Find your calling at nationalguard.com. Again, that's nationalguard.com. Let's check out the next matchup in front of us, Pyro. We're excited for this one for sure. Cumberland Patriots facing off with Mississippi State Maroon team. Let's start with the rosters here, as we've got Always Ready, Murray, and Voku on the side of the Patriots.
Yeah, Patriots look good. We'll talk more about them as we go. For MSU Maroon, we've got Brother Brian Pookie Van and Molly 02004. It is the finals week, and there's a lot to discuss in terms of these teams and their readiness, what they're going to bring to the table, their ARNG uncommon traits. So let's kick it off with the Cumberland Patriots to see what they're bringing to the table, what we think is going to make them stand out. I want to start with one uncommon trait, and that is, hey, run back week 7. All right, it wasn't that long ago, actually, when the Patriots took the win against Mississippi State in Game 7. So they did it before. Do it again. But in order to do that, we're looking for the captain, always ready to get everyone ready. Come on, it's in your name. You got to do it after all. And then finally, the real 1 seed. Okay, in the semifinals, they didn't play the 1 seed. They played the 8 seed that took them down. So since they won transitive property, they're the 1 seed now. Okay, they're the talk of the town, the top of the town, Bear Light. That's what it's going to take for the Patriots.
Listen, they might be the talk of the town, all right, Pyro, but there's one thing that you haven't considered. It's the MSU, and their fans run deep as well. Let's check out their uncommon traits now as we speak. Let's kick it off with a little thing called Let the Past Be the Past. You talked about how that, week 7 may have not have gone their way, but for Mississippi State University Maroon team, they're going to put that past and keep it there, and they're going to flow like the Mississippi. That's what they need to do. It means you have to play for the next touch and just get this ball moving, set the pace, set the tone, and get that flow going, not only on the pitch, Pyro, but also in their communication lines too. As your common, you got to be able to have it flow pretty quickly and regularly to take on this team. And finally, feel the 4th man energy, the support units that they have in chat pretty consistently every time we see Mississippi State University Maroon on this channel, Pyro. Their fans are going wild, and they need to feel that energy from that crew as well if they want to get the job done against Cumberland here tonight.
I'll look for that 4th man energy everywhere, whether it's the friendly roll off the post or somebody on the Patriots making a mistake because the crowd is so loud against them. I'll keep an eye out for it. There is that outside of the field aura, that tension that can definitely impact players as they look to win in the most important week of NECC finals week. So let's get it going then. Y'all waited long enough. It is spring championships on the line. Best of 7 to go.
Division 4 Central has been a fun one to track throughout the entirety of the season. We get back to it in a lovely way to wrap things up as well. For finals, Captain right there on the doorstep. Always ready to put their team in a good spot in the first blood drawn by the Patriots.
Were they listening to our uncommon traits? Maybe. I don't know. Always ready, though. Readying their team for success on that bar down passing play. We've seen a lot of early goals today, especially after our first match, and we'll continue to see it. It's 2 for the Pats.
Breaking it down, feels like we have more goals in this game already in the first 14 seconds than we did in a couple games across the board from the first series here. And the Patriots will say that sounds pretty good to us, honestly. Great start for them for sure for MSU. They are a team that takes some time to get going. That's what they're going to be banking on before they start flowing like the Mississippi to our point. But now we'll see if they can challenge the Patriots as they are fumbling a little bit here defensively, but not enough for MSU to be able to step up. Not until Pooh Keith and will now look to launch into it. A great touch to try to get them out. Both of these teams basically ran the table, both at 5-1 in Division 4. So they looked really good during the regular season and really trying to bring it to the table in that same side of the bracket too. So a very strong league that they were in. That league play was tough, and obviously both teams prepared for the playoffs just because of that alone.
And I feel like we mentioned in week 7 them going to game 7. They probably had a notion that they'd have to play each other again. It was too close to not go back to back. But how about back to back to back? It's Voku with a hat trick already.
That's so quick. Hey, listen, find your role, and if it works, stick with it. That's been fantastic for them right up the rip. So if you can get goal scoring like that in bunches throughout the series, you're going to spell trouble for MSU. But that is a kickoff goal and a much-needed one I was just about to say, they read my mind. I was like, hey, you got to get one quick, and that's about as quick as it gets.
Yeah, you don't want to end up like a Northwood who lets 3 down and then, hey, let them score another 3. No, forget about it. Wipe that lead away, a goal at a time and one kickoff. Even at a time, they've got the advantage here too. Pookie then setting up for the flick. That's on, that's in.
I mean, that's so smooth too, right? Off the kickoff and then you control it. You don't have any boost in the tank, but no panic in the tank either, right? And that's what I love to see. If you have that time, utilize it. That's what they did. MSU already in a blink of an eye, back within 1 with plenty of time left on the clock.
I want to know what Pookie then is doing with a negative 1,000 aura title. I don't know, that kickoff looked pretty good to me, but I'm not really the one giving out aura points, I guess. Always Ready has been the player giving out goals to their team. They're going to get the demo to open things up for Voku and nearly allow their team to score, but the shots were too high.
I don't know, man. I would allow you to judge my aura. I think you got plenty of your own, you know? But that's just me, all right, man. We'll see maybe what Chad thinks, but in the meantime, you got Pookie challenging in here. Looking to draw even, which would be crazy. Less than a minute after they had drawn behind by 3. But they're looking for that pass, but it was not quite a lot on it, nor was it in the vicinity of a teammate. When Pookie turns now, Voku looking for their 4th. They might have it. They do. What an offensive performance already from this man.
Yeah, unbelievable. You saw that jump and the flip just to stay on target with the ball, follow it, and then take the flick top corner. I talked about, MSU. Maybe they want the friendly roll off the post, but when you're shooting this good for Voku, you don't need nobody's help.
Nope. I can do it myself, all right? Listen, they have showcased exactly what role they want to play and how well they can play it. Molly getting to work now, too, for MSU. Maroon team tries to close in the gap once more. And that's a bullet to go far post. Holy cow, that one had some mustard behind it.
Yes, it did. Brother Brian had a easy layup for the team's first goal, but showing off that any speed is at the potential from the shot prowess of Brother Brian.
Laser rips. Love to see it. Now Molly will pinch it back down, and just as quickly as you thought that Cumberland was going to cover the tracks, right back to work. But Voku once more. The follow-up available to you, but shut down before it gets going. Always ready to get a challenge to back wall, but it is held nicely by Mississippi State. Who now from the back wall will get that touch to Molly, and back out they go. They try to trap them at midfield. Possession given away, though, and MSU allowed the advance forward here, looking for the box, too. But that space is denied again. Always ready. Well, the name applies. This one will go high where Murray has to try to collect it, but gives it away as well. Pass across. Another big read here defensively from the Patriots. And now they're watching a wide open net. Back to their 2-goal lead yet again.
Beautifully done on this one. You see the open field, you got the demolition, and now you just got to barrel it in. Hard goal from Always Ready. Potentially trying to answer from Brother Brian's heater of a shot, as this game has become a sharp shooter spree.
That it has. And I feel like it can continue this pace, too, because we saw a whole lot of goals in that Week 7 matchup, by the way. So, feeling pretty appropriate as it stands right now. The back and forthness definitely checks out. No team seemed behind. Even with the 3-goal lead that we saw early from the Patriots, it didn't seem like MSU had, quote-unquote, a slow start. It was not their best start. I think they'll even argue that, but at the end of the day, they were able to answer back pretty quickly. Look at that 1-2 punch. Holy cow. The pace is unbelievable, and they're back within 1 yet again.
90 miles per hour is the speed on this shot. I mean, if I see a shot that's over 68 maybe, I'm going to say that's a fast shot. 90 is ridiculous. Molly, that is their first goal, and what a wonder it was. That said, though, MSU, you still need another.
That sequence might be the one to start it up at least. Brother Brian has a teammate on the back wall. They try to go 1, 2, 3. In fact, they'll make the Patriots miss. Not enough to get them into a rut. They're right back on it. They steal the boost too. Maybe notable here as they're pretty low, but that was a great touch to get them away. Back downfield they go. MSU looking to press in. The last 20 seconds of game number 1 and always ready. Looking to lead the charge here from the Patriots to try to close this out with just about 10 seconds remaining. A big save. Here comes another opportunity. Trying to drop that down in front, but they'll find Molly and find their way out. Needing to find one of their own. It's loose there, but it hits the ground before the bounce. And after a chaotic barn burner of a game number 1, the Patriots of Cumberland will hold on.
And what's crazy about this game is it did not start as a barn burner. This was a 3-0 lead from Cumberland that looked to be completely in their wheelhouse. It made you forget that these teams went to game 7, but then MSU were quick to remind us exactly of how close these teams are. It was a comeback that just didn't have the last bits that it needed, but it proves that MSU are here to play today.
That's 100% accurate, and it kind of makes you wonder, like, what if they showed up on time and were able to not allow, like, even just, like, one goal, like, keep it mitigated, the damage early. But, I mean, it's easier said than done, especially the way that Cumberland's came out and said that they wanted to play. But Mississippi State got to put it behind you regardless, and yes, they are here to play. And you can't linger on the past either. It was part of the talking points we talked about. You got to get back out in this game number 2 and showcase again while you're here, number 2, that you can get out to a quick start and continuously get things going. Because obviously on paper, you saw that they had 3 of the last 5 goals, which is a good sign for them looking to kind of spark things as we go along.
That's right. Yeah, look to those sharpshooters for sure. The striker of Voku, 4 goals of the team's 5. That is plentiful and really proved their ability to score for their team. Probably something to look out for MSU to put a stop to that here for game 2.
You see the Patriots right back out, though. That one going to float. One of the target already, I mean, we're already talking about scoring chances here. A rule 1, are they going to keep it? That's going to play right into the Patriots. They do. I mean, respect in the finals, but, like, listen, that left the door wide open, man.
It's a tough one to call there. It really is. I have the utmost respect for the Rule 1 believers and the traditionalists of the game. But not even pros keep the Rule 1 these days. So, you know, everyone makes their own decisions about it. But no matter what way you look at it, Cumberland start ahead.
You got to believe in the higher powers of Rocket League at that point in time to be able to kind of forgive you and give you an edge to get you back in here for MSU. But unfortunately, maybe they paid off there. Holding the Rule 1, and you get a missed shot from the other side here for MSU to try to equalize. I guess you can call it that, but they'll look to flip high and get back out. They certainly dodged a bullet regardless.
Yeah, there you go. Call it a wash at this point. That one should have been a goal. Now Maroon look to tie as they don't want another late start in the game. Minute down already. Molly going for the bump play. Pookie should be first to this ball and is to beat the defense for a goal.
You know, I got nervous for a second that they weren't going to make it there in time. But they did. Circled around. And just plain and simple, the Patriots not able to get that touch. You take advantage of it for sure. So not only were you taking advantage of the misfortune from the Patriots, your fortunate nature of them missing a shot, but then getting right back to it. And then almost letting one in for yourself, but that one did find its way wide off the kickoff. Now it's a charge for the ball, but the race won by Murray, who will now try to find a nasty angle. They were credited with the save back there. It might have been on target. MSU had to be careful and mindful of that quick transitional play. But things settle right back down, looking for the end-to-end pass, but it just out of the reach of a teammate for MSU. Now the Patriots, Cumberland, going for that far side post. Brother Brian over just in time.
Oh, Voku, that's a scary one. That's going to leave it right for Brother Brian. And while Voku has been instrumental on the offensive side, that feels like a blunder to give one up.
For sure. Only one thing where you can make that touch, and that's if you know for a fact that somebody's back and ready and prepared. You almost got a little bit of help, but it was a extremely difficult play, so not one that you can rely on. So mistakes will happen. And you got to imagine, you know, maybe a little bit of nerves too can play into it, especially when you get to finals time. Wondering how much exactly of that is calculated in here at this point, however. As now the game within one. Voku now trying to backtrack on this one. Off the corner it'll go. Murray tracking that one all the way. Got his captain up and ready to try to launch it up the corner. Finds away with brother Brian. Also back to midfield where Voku will try to settle it down this time around, but gave away possession. As now Pookie tries to crash into the box. And does. 3 members from MSU right there, but nobody able to challenge it. And now the 1-2-3 passing here from the Patriots. Looking to set it up. The blocker didn't get there in time, and you left the door wide open on the backside. And MSU now up to a 2-goal lead.
That's tough for Cumberland. They had a great passing play. They wanted to take full advantage of it. They even get a player to go for the leading demo. But one interference play is the antidote to it. And it does give a 2-goal lead now to MSU, a team who didn't even get to host a lead in game number 1. Now has completely turned the tables.
Yeah, they're too busy chasing last time around, so we said early start was necessary. That's what they found. You love to see that from this team. Tracks well with 2 minutes, just under 2 minutes left. You see the Patriots trying to charge after it, but they might have learned their lesson after getting beat last time. They were quick to that one, I'll tell you that, Pirate.
Yeah, they were indeed. As brother Brian is very quick to this corner play as well, but Molly's going to be playing this ball from behind, just gets on the other end of it. Always ready with Molly still playing that off the side wall. Pookie then full boost, goes for the reset just to wave dash on the recovery. Brother Brian contesting still, as this is looking more and more difficult for Cumberland to play. They just can't keep up right now with the pace of MSU.
If you think about it, like even I talked about this string of goal scoring from MSU to even bring it back from that 3-0 deficit that we saw in game number 1. That same trend continues here in this game too. There hasn't been a solution from Cumberland this time. So despite the win from the Patriots in game number 1, MSU has looked like the better team, especially in the goal scoring column where it counts the most. So 4-1, make it 5-1 potentially. Yes, it is. That streak continues. Feels like Cumberland needs something convincing in the tail end of this game number 2 to really spark something into game 3 and the rest of this year.
Yeah, my focus for the rest of the series is going to be more so the escape prowess of UC Patriots. It just feels to me that once they do get cornered in their half, they have a lot of trouble getting out. And that takes some good communication with your team. That takes some efficiency with your boost. And maybe some downfield passes to spark a counterattack. I'd like to see more planning from this team because MSU Maroon, when they have these possessions, they usually end in a goal.
Cumberland relying so heavily on being able to trap their opponents, it feels like, because they've been caught downfield a handful of times by MSU. And they get caught in their own corner as well. So between those two things, it's been tough, but that one will be a freebie for them. So it seems justice is served both ways, an open door both ways at this point in time. Is it enough, though, in our eyes to say that that's gaining momentum back? A goal feels nice. We wanted something convincing. Is that convincing enough?
It doesn't feel like it. I mean, you'll take it. It's a little bit of a reprieve for you to just say, okay, maybe there's something here cooking, and there is something cooking. Hold on. Voku follows up, and I guess they heard it wasn't enough. They said more was needed.
And even made the adjustment on the fly, too. Like a great touch away defensively from MSU. For the time being, at least as much as they could do in that desperate situation. The Patriots, yeah, I think that was the ticket they needed potentially. Won't matter much in this game, it doesn't feel. But will it matter in future games? Especially when they already took the 1-0 lead in the series. So remember, MSU, will equalize here, but Patriots will just surrender that one and that one alone. But Mississippi State taking the first of the series.
And they do it in splendid fashion here. Hat trick from Pookie then. Brother Brian has been coming out with rippers of goals in this game. And as I mentioned, this team really knows how to hammer away at Cumberland and make them pay for these long-standing possessions. I just need that coordination from Cumberland, especially on the counterattacks. We recall the passing play, the 1-2-3 that got stripped away and scored for MSU. Right, the blueprint is there. They just got to execute a little cleaner.
That's right. And it's all about that cleanness, especially when we talk about a game that we just came out of where mistakes were actually quite plentiful, to be honest, especially positioning a standpoint. You know, not a lot of missed shots or opportunities for that sense of it, but the defensive breakdowns have been certainly noticeable. That completely shifts my focus from, especially when I talked about Cumberland, how you want to kind of put up as many shots as possible. Now it's who can lock down defensively first and be defensive minded, then work from there, because both have great attacks. It's just like whenever the door is open, that's been the real difference maker. And it not only just shifts the game one goal, it legitimately shifts the entirety of that momentum one way or another, because it's been a pattern of goals one way, goals the other from those mistakes. It seems like that's what stems it, at least.
Ever since those initial 3 goals from Voku, it does feel like on the upper hand of scoring, Mississippi State have had it. Let's see if that momentum does indeed translate from game to game. They do get a couple opening chances here as a ball's lobbed right in front of the net again. Always ready, coming out with the colorful preset, and they will splash onto the scene there with a save too to keep that defense that you're looking for, Bear Light, intact.
You saw Murray there with a bit of a handstand to throw that one off, and it was demoed off it immediately. So they were not impressed by the handstand, I would say. That's Voku to a teammate. The back and forth, they exchange the give and go. Right back down the field, but MSU ready for it. They weren't able to get that touch, though. Now up the corner, just trying to find a teammate, but Voku is so far back to the point where midfield balance is there. What a save from Molly. Holy cow. Still not out quite yet, though, as it'll go back wall and lose change. Another save from Pookie Ethan this time. And MSU Maroon having to make some desperate saves, but they were able to get the job done.
Yes, for defense, you're getting it. Legendary work being done right now from MSU on the goal line. 2 wonderful saves in a row to keep this game knotted up at 0, but I think Cumberland want more. Murray has full boost in the tank to get another pass around. Brother Brian does get to touch out. Voku ready to play it from the corner as well, and it will end up being MSU to get out of that corner ball and bring it the other way. Bouncer for Molly to take right off the backboard, but that offensive rotation isn't narrow enough to get the shot. What a stutter step, though, from Brother Brian to get it past a couple. Set up for Pookie. That shot is saved as well.
How about it? Both teams understand the assignment defensively. Another laser. That one off the crossbar this time. Still looking for a teammate, but they all bailed. Now room for the MSU side. What can Pookie Ethan do? They go back wall instead, but tracked down, and great positioning from the Patriots to launch it out again. Big saves, big defensive plays. Both ways have been the story this time around. Smalley wanted more there to the net. Voku, great track back again from Brother Brian, but a follow-up there from Voku again. Let your goal scorers go to work, and that's what Cumberland does here.
Oh, I'm so glad we get the other angle of this shot from Voku, because that is immaculate. Difficult ball to read, but nearly impossible to place top corner. What an effort from, indeed, the striker of the team.
And look at it, the dance too, the fancy moves around one. He's got some craftiness to his gameplay that I certainly appreciate. Speaking of which, that is a greatly set up play, and always ready was right in the box yet again. This Patriots team, when they get going, my goodness, what a team play.
They're a wonderful team to watch. I mean, these 2 goals come after 2 incredible shots that were somehow saved. So this offense, you're right, is rolling as the ball rolls treacherously to the Cumberland net. Patriots will be happy to get out of that alive, at least for now. But what a pop-up there from Brother Brian. Murray gets it away for a moment, but struggling on boosts right now are the Patriots. No one has really over 10. They're going to need some time here to boost back up.
Smalley finding a teammate. A little bit too late, though. Now the Patriots looking for a teammate here, but Murray pulled off of it. Voku just wanted more, but always ready up yet again. Up the corner, was able to get a efficient touch. Now looking for the teammate. What a goal again. Molly was able to flip into this one. It looked nice on the end-to-end, and MSU back within 1.
Woo! Yeah. That's a catch-up flip. That's a pre-flip. That's one that you do just to keep up with the play, not one to score. Wild from Molly, as the level of quality of goals has gone up tenfold just in this game alone. Can't believe my eyes, but hey, that's what happens in finals week.
That's right, yeah, and just the pace that we see has picked up tremendously. Pre-flip, hey, whatever it takes. You draw it up. Or if it's just improvising, it works for sure. Now back to work they go. That's another touch, an extra one. One that Voku was able to read regardless. Taking their time with this one too, so good comms from the rest of the team to tell them they had time. Many times you'll see teams rush that, so it's good to kind of settle into it, and Voku's got always ready. But the touch, not exactly the one they were looking for. Left the possession right back into the hands of MSU. Mississippi State watches this waterfall, and Brother Brian was almost certain they were going to find a touch, but they still have an opportunity. Shot taken. It's going to be handled by Murray. A little bit dangerous to carry it across the goal line, but now the pinch there catches them off guard. And just like that, it's back down the other way. With 30 seconds left, they'll have the 2-goal lead.
Dirty Murray. That is something else. Got a little bit of help from the opposition on that pinch, but the right idea and overall the right placement to get that 2-goal lead. Now, we did see 2 goals in the last 30 seconds from Patriots, and maybe MSU can do that to catch up. They need a bit of a miracle here. It doesn't seem like the play is going their way right now. Always ready, does center the ball for Voku. Brother Brian does catch the pass across the field, but that's intercepted well by Cumberland. They will do it. They will turn this thing right back around in their favor and take the win in Game 3.
Another bounce back effort. This is what finals is all about. This is what NECC is all about. Both teams, no matter if they get down slightly, it's just rubber banded back, and such a balanced effort this time around. We said, you know, you'd love to see your goal scorer get out and get it done. Voku is certainly a goal scorer in this one, but so is every member of that team for the Patriots. Everybody getting on the board. Makes it difficult, again, for Mississippi State to figure out where that next shot's coming from to be able to defend it quickly like they want to be able to do. That said, you know, we saw moments of flash there from Mississippi State to be able to read the play early and often. It just wasn't enough in that instance, and Patriots did it just a little bit better, but that just shows the little bit of gap between these two teams, if there's one at all. They've always seen a very close matchup, and we're seeing another one here, of course.
Yeah, I would be surprised by a mirrored Game 7 here. What I would be surprised by is if the quality of shots increases from here. I mean, it seems like we have seen its peak. There were only 3 saves from MSU in that game. Woo! And they nearly needed another one there. But they were all immaculate saves. So they're being asked of a lot here to defend. That will continue here in Game 4 as Pookie catches a long clear and tries to position it well for their team. It's not getting any easier, though. Murray will finish that goal.
Large task for a large moment, you're right, and they are up for the challenge. Great job to flip right into that one. And because it caught them off guard, it really handcuffed the defense. And Brother Brian did not know what to do with it. The touch was loose. The rebound is what Cumberland and the Patriots find. Coming off that last win and looking to get right back to work here in this game number 4. Unless Mississippi State has something to say about it. And they do have that bump, but nobody's back again. Pretty free? Yes, it is. Patriots take it again, a 2-0 lead.
Cumberland got some momentum for him, and it always tends to be Voku and Always Ready leading that path. They have this connection where they move on one string across the field, and those passing plays downfield are definitely a part of it. Maybe it's the kickoff combo too, as Voku picks up the 50 from Always Ready. Unfortunately, will not keep a handle on that ball.
Easy to get away from you, especially in that moment. Haven't seen it much from Goku, but it did. And it happens. That one's going to be a large 50-50 hits this ceiling. Molly just launched one, and honestly, that challenged the Patriots more than it maybe should have, so like the idea to try to catch them off guard, but we got Voku right back on it. The 50-50 just falls in the hands of his teammates, so mission accomplished, I suppose. Murray goes off back wall for this one as well, but Always Ready actually went past it this time. Now leaving it open. MSU, opportunity, pushes it past one, has a teammate there, but ready for it. The defense of the Patriots still need to be set and in charge, but they're having a difficult time trying to escape the box. Finally, they will with the big clear.
I mean, what a commitment there from MSU. They gave it their all on that play, but I'll tell you what, Cumberland have just been stabilized on defense. Everyone playing their role. Not a lot of double commits featured here, even off of the quick succession from MSU. So it's impressive to see this defense, as clinical as it is, keeping this shutout active as ever. Murray could extend the shutout, and they will. A bouncer for goal 3.
Once again, it's all about smelling blood in the water. You can tell it was going to be a difficult play there from Pookie, and the extra touch just made it that much more difficult. Once again, they find themselves handcuffed. It's been coming a bit of a theme here, and Cumberland's been picking up on that and exposing it here for MSU against them, as now they're making 4-0, just adding injury to insult at this point.
Gets to a point where you can't really see the light at the end of the tunnel. 4 goals is manageable in 3 minutes, but it's magnified by now the momentum that Cumberland have worked up. They've really hammered away at each and every chance that they've had, not only in this game, but the last. The difference is this time, the defense from MSU can't hold it together.
Flying away with this one. The Patriots are feeling good, and this should send them to the match point if they can just roll this wave all the way to the next one. A 5-0 lead. Not impossible to erase, but feeling extremely difficult. MSU's got a long way to go, and they got to start now, sooner rather than later, if they can pick up on things. Still trying to find just any kind of momentum, but it continuously shut down by the Patriots. Out they go yet again.
Boku, corner touch, right, Always Ready. A kerfuffle there on the goal line is still handled by MSU. Molly leading for the bump play. Cannot get a hold of Always Ready, who evades the bump and makes the save. And you got to think that has been one of the best chances for MSU to score, and still they come up short.
That's right. And that answer back, the clap back that we saw in the series a little bit earlier, whenever the Patriots were able to run away with it, at least the answer was there a little bit later on in the game, and they just haven't been able to find it. The chances have been there, haven't been able to capitalize. Cumberland fully on the gas pedal here now. Even with this lead, haven't become complacent. They've been right back to work against MSU, not allowing the chances or being able to dig them out. Another opportunity, and now that's just a full send from Mississippi State. They do a good job to handle and get back to it, but obviously at this point in time, running out of time.
Yeah, for sure. And listen, you mentioned the late effort that was done by MSU to get back into form. I think I still want to see that still in this last minute. Give your team hope when eventually your back's going to be against the wall. So they've got a chance here, and lunging into it is brother Brian.
Exactly. That's what you need. Just one. Sometimes it's all it takes. It doesn't matter how it looks. And it was still a good read regardless, right? You were in there ready to strike. You were confident. You had your teammates behind you. So it's what you wanted, an organized strike and risk taken there from MSU to crash in and get one on the board at the very minimum. Maybe start that snowball of sorts down the hill and find that traction that you can continue into the next one here. As MSU wants to put another one on as well. Love the ambition too. The back pass also, but that one was well read by Murray, as they will break that up and send it all the way back down yet again. But now Murray back on it. The Patriots want to take that momentum that would have been gained by Mississippi State and throw it in the trap.
Yeah. Yeah, put the momentum right where they think it is well earned, and I got to give credit to Boku in particular. That is 5 assists in this game. That 5th assist right there was off of a whipping pass from the quarter, just a beautiful redirect. It goes to show who's scoring the goals, but it also is who's delivering the chances for the team, as Boku has pretty much for the majority of the time been the striker for this team. It's great to see that role flex in such an impactful way.
This game controlled, owned, set tone, and then delivered, sealed and delivered more accurately here by Cumberland and the Patriots for a dominant game to head up to match point here at this point in time. Although MSU gets one on the board, does not look like they will get any more. And Cumberland and this incredible team will march up to match point, 1 game away from their title.
1 game here in finals week does not mean that you have earned it. There is still another step to go, and we have seen MSU already tonight go down in the dumps and claw their way back out. Think back again to that game number 1, down 0-3. They said to heck with that, adapted. But now, Bearlight, they have to adapt to a UC Patriots team that just seem like they're in a different form. This isn't a fluke of a top quality squad. This is 2 games straight of the Patriots putting forward some really tough goals to save.
And stringing it together is difficult against this team. Again, these teams are so close. They're in the same division. They're in the same side of the division as well, and yet somehow of the Central too. And still, we're able to find those gaps. And so it feels like it might be happening again. So for Mississippi State, the key for me was, are you able to kind of put that out of your mind? I'm not convinced yet at this point in time, especially with the one-sided tilt that we saw from University of Cumberland's. But you're also right in this sense, Pyro. You got to finish to the very end. Can UC Patriots get it done here? Or does MSU have something to say about it? Well, University of Cumberland's, they are striking hot early. First 10 seconds belong to them, but MSU will keep it at 0s, at least for now.
Oh, and that's a pre-jump for the shot, but Murray will take it in a different way. Boku picks up their own pass and then hands it off to Murray.
Those are the plays I'm talking about. We chalked him up to be a goal scorer, but I truly mean playmaker, not in the way of 3 assists, although he might get that too because that was a nasty assist, but in the way that it doesn't matter if you're the goal scorer or setting them up, you always make a difference on the offensive side of the ball. Fantastic job from Boku this whole series to be that difference maker, playmaker that I'm talking about here for UC Patriots.
And there's 4 minutes left to do just that. It will be made simpler with the job done by Always Ready on that demolition. In the corner of the field, Boku puts it right in front of the net and then continues to play the ball. He is just this everlasting nuisance for MSU that they cannot figure out. And now that nuisance has taken themselves from one side of the field to the other. Flip reset air dribble, followed with the bump. He's everywhere all at once.
It seems that way, right? That's what a speedy individual on your team will do. And when they make the right decisions, it makes it even that more insurmountable. At least it feels that way. Still plenty of time left, of course. Long way to go. But you got to get out of your own zone. And they have sustained that a little bit for MSU. Back out go the Patriots. And that's a double demo on the docket. 2+ the bump. But the shot was not available. I think it actually was. They just happened to send it over to the sidewall instead, but you got Boku right back to work. Off the top and down, and always ready. The captain ready to strike, set up by no other than Boku.
Oh yeah, that air triple dunk on the pass is beautiful, but it all stemmed from just the disruption play, right when you think finally MSU are getting back into this game, you get double demoed and then bumped up the respawn. There's just no way to get yourself settled in the game when something like that is happening. And with 3 minutes left, it is now or never. You gotta think for MSU to turn this one around. What a play from brother Brian! Beating 2 for the score.
All right, brother. That touch, always ready. Got a little bit antsy there, and then the last man back being pestered a little bit by MSU. Perhaps that might be a little bit of the solution in their mind at this point in time. You can't let them be free there defensively. Got to find solutions from a physicality standpoint, MSU. And the Maroon team's still alive.
Resets from Voku will not take the ball past the half-court line, but then the clear afterwards will. Shots there from Always Ready, but it's contested well. Muri follows up with the shot. Always Ready looking to get a bump or a redirect on that ball. As MSU looking for a way out. They need that escape rope. They need it now. Muri nearly gets the dunk to go in. Pookie takes it up Broadway Street. That one's off the corner. Molly passed the play. And so MSU will have to return to defense.
And on defense, they've looked good. They want to continue that here in this game. A lot better than last one, but their demo off it. That was a huge demo as well because they were loading up what would have been a massive chance there on the flick. You still see massive chances come out this time from the Patriots. They had it in the box, but weren't able to capitalize. Now Pook Ethan is able to get it out. Relieve pressure, but how much time do you have to do that? You've got to be able to translate it into some offense here at some point. And brother Brian was the one to do it last time. You look for your leaders in this moment. This could be it. Pookie, shot taken. Great save and tracking it down by Boku.
Yeah, Pookie's definitely been trying to put the cape on and be the hero here, and has come very close in some of these circumstances, so I'm still looking out for that finishing factor to come from Pookie, but it could be from Molly. The bouncer is in, and we're all tied.
Life breathed into the MSU side as Molly had to jump and get up early for that one, plus calculate the exact route from Murray to make sure you don't shoot it into the defense or your own man at that point as well, as MSU was a little bit ahead of them too. Great surgical touch there from Molly to be able to keep them up and rolling here and equalize the game of 2.
MSU up with that pass, and Molly able to play it, but seems to be bumped away. Always Ready, sets it up the backboard, set up for the double tap 2. And boy, would that have been a go-ahead goal for Cumberland. This could be it, though. The demolition's there. The shot's too high. Always Ready, prepared for the shot. It's too soft.
Not quite getting enough on that. Yeah, the chance to put it on target as well, not quite there. Back to it they go. And MSU taking a little bit too long, allowing UC right out and the opportunity to challenge right back into it. Murray's got one deep, looking for the captain, still bouncing. Molly had to dig it out. Now a play towards the far side post, but Boku wanted to stay put, wanted to have enough members back here defensively. Now it's MSU's turn to try to turn the tides, but the Patriots right back on it too. It feels like at this point, Pyro, just one more goal from the Patriots could spell a win for them.
It would indeed. Muri thought they had a chance for it. Maybe Voku does. The ball was put in the wrong person's hands there, but fortunately for MSU, they were able to take it away, and they were able to secure themselves in overtime.
Here we go again. Overtime. The Patriots had a chance to close out. Just one goal away from the championship at this point, but you got Molly back the other way. Opportunity shut down and a little bit off the mark. Again, the floater will challenge them too, but UC Patriots able to fight it off. MSU not done though. Top of the box challenged well, and back out the center we go.
Oh, demolition there. Here comes the shot from Pookie. No, it's still wide. And it was a great relief play to let the next player score. Had it been on target, maybe we'd see the next game. There it is! Pookie, another chance, and didn't let this one get away from them.
That is heart at its finest. MSU battles back after the Patriots were in prime real estate to be able to close out the series, but they can't get it done. Let me tell you something, Pyro. Whenever you have the chance to close out a series like this, especially traditionally one that's gone the distance, you want to be able to do it here and now, but denied by Mississippi State.
Oh, you're all too right about that. We've been casting Rocket League long enough, Bearlight, to know that these are exactly the kind of matches that cook up that kind of comeback. And hey, we can just look at locally at that game we witnessed right there. That was a comeback. Cumberland Patriots, all the momentum in the world. First 2 goals in the game with 3 minutes to go. You start to see the writing on the wall. Everyone does, but those MSU players, they never gave up. That's
right, and they won't. Like, we've seen them play, and it's been different crews too, like different versions and iterations of this Maroon team from Mississippi State. But the culture still exists. That's why culture is so important, that they never feel like they're out of a series. It's very much a Rocket League general statement. You're right there. But for MSU, it almost feels like a real statement piece about this team and its culture. As you see right off the rip, a slow play and an opportunity there too. But like I mentioned, the Bulldogs and Mississippi State University Maroon team have hearts. They always have and will always be in the series till the end.
No doubt about it. Each game is where the focus is required from MSU, one game at a time. As we have seen some of these games get completely out of line for the leads of UC. And for this one to stay neck and neck is important at the very least from MSU.
Had the advantages, the opportunities, the looks. A little bit earlier, that's a quick touch too. But now look out. Transition. Molly kept back just enough. Great third man recognition. Be able to not only get that, but look at that great job to follow that ball too, to get it past one on the drag. And Pookie then will just slow play it here this point in time. And honestly, it kind of caught this UC Patriots team by surprise. It rolls through the box there a little bit menacingly. The Patriots tracked it all the way, but they still have their hands full. Flip reset not being utilized. Now in transition back the other way, but UC Patriots not getting the look they want, and a shot well wide into the corner it goes. Voku tries to set them up too. Nothing doing, at least not yet. To the corner and grabs a demo from Voku, but really just frees up some space from MSU. It's a great job to get it out to center and try to reorganize, but you still got Voku right back in, end to end, and cleans up the loose change as well. And once again, University of Cumberland's up 1-0 in a game in which they have the match and championship point lead.
And that play came down to one of the toughest things in Rocket League, which is reading the ball from the top of the backboard, that bend into the ceiling. It's tough to find out where it'll go. Voku had the better vantage point. Got the read for the goal. Exactly the player you want in that position to seal the deal. That said, there was some work from UC to carve out that chance as they're trying to do it again here on the possession, and they have paved the path for Voku.
Murray was on this from the rip and then just happened to Kareem off his car, but being right place, right time will serve you favors. And Voku's got a nasty, wicked slap shot, if you will, from the top of the box. Another bullet. You already saw a 90-mile-per-hour fastball a little bit earlier on, and that one almost matching that same speed and energy to give this Cumberland team this 2-0 lead.
Yeah, but 2 goals up from Cumberland with a little under 3 minutes remaining. Have you seen this before? Pookie wants this previous game to be this one as well, and they will start that comeback right away.
Pyro, you can sense it, and I could too. And it was on its way for sure. Perfectly set up on the back wall too, and it was far enough away on the other side of the net from where Murray was parked on the back wall too, and that was calculated completely in the brain. Where can we go that the defense cannot be, and how do we finish it as well? MSU, again, never out, but dangerous spot again. And you see Patriots right back out to that 2-goal lead.
There's just one thing that MSU can't afford, and that is putting the ball in the danger zone. If 50-50 goes the wrong way, and always ready, true to the name, there to punish.
And you know, this captain, you can tell it's just, by the side, but look, out. Now, MSU had that moment, scared me for a second. And rightfully so, they've been doing a great job to get right back into it. And Voku's got him right where they want him, but Molly did a great job in that 1v1 shadow. Back out the center it goes, but the Patriots, not done yet. Neither is Molly. Right back up to center, but Murray going to challenge the back wall. They can't get to it as far as teammates go. That's a crafty touch on the back check as well by MSU. Now Pookie has a teammate far side. A touch away by UC Patriots. MSU tried to turn on that one as well, but couldn't quite find the angle. That was a great chance to try to pull it back within one.
It was right there. And 90 seconds remain to get this one going. Brother Brian tries to get up at the same time as Voku, but Voku had the boost. Voku had the shot as well. But that one came a little too quickly, I think, off the backboard for Voku to read. This one passed across. Muri's up, always ready, could be there. Off the backboard, shot goes top corner. It's saved by Brother Brian, but Voku's in position to keep the offense together. And if that Cumberland offense continues here, then MSU will run out of time.
That's right. The Patriots continue to just put foot to gas pedal. Why not? Let's close it out. Obviously, you don't want to make it too risky. MSU can expose you, but they've been doing a great job to manage the lead from the get-go. Now Voku, more time off the clock. Massive clear here this time. Off the corner, looking for another one too with the back flip to try to evade one member of the defense from MSU, but all this serving its purpose to just kill more time.
And they've done exactly that. Voku with always ready. That's been the duo to score together so many times. Whether it's a pass from Always Ready or the deliverance from Voku, they have added to the scoreboard in the way that only a champion team could, through the smoke screen. And one of the last demos, Always Ready, the captain, will give their team an extra lead.
Murray set it up. Oh, captain, my captain, let the way for the rest of this team. We said you got to get all your players ready, and let me tell you, they all showed up here today. And I'll tell you one thing, Pyro, you had MSU cracking back, yet you were able to respond all the way in this Division 4 Central portion of the NECC. This bracket is red, white, and blue. The Patriots of UC able to take the title here in their division. Congratulations.
Congratulations indeed, Division 4 champions, the UC Patriots. What a grind it was for them. And you know what? They were the 4 seed coming into this one. They expected the 1 seed in the semifinals, but played the 8 seed instead because of the upset victory that happened there. So I think really for the Patriots, even though they have beaten MSU in the past, it was a game 7, and they're still in a way the underdogs of the bracket. I don't think they're coming into this one knowing that they're going to become the champions. They had to earn it today, and through push and pull, as we mentioned, Bearlight, they were able to keep on top.
And they did it. Just that, and they will remain that way as well. That's congratulations to them, because they have pulled their weight for sure, and it speaks wonders, especially when we talk about nationals coming up. In addition to that, where your champions have those bids there too, so much on the line. And even in that moment when MSU was potentially clicking back, I said, if they don't close out this time around, they might be in trouble. They said, not so much, my friends, not so much. We got League of Legends lower finals going on tomorrow, by the way, right here on this channel, so make sure if you're not already following to follow along. Overwatch and League of Legends finals on Friday as well, so make sure you keep track there. And the Aurora Series upper finals on Friday too. We got a busy rest of the week here, Pyro, and some good matchups going on the NECC channel.
Hey, I hope they're as good as the matches that we got to see tonight. That bracket reset that Northwood survived against Fisher was truly something else.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, this thriller of MSU Maroon just fighting back no matter what. That's the kind of taste you want to leave with after a wonderful finals night.
That's right. And we got to thank, of course, Chippy on the back end of things, always holding it down. Pyro for being here in the booth with me. Barrel Lights, and for all of you watching, too, at home or with your teams as well, if you're within their arenas. We love that type of support as well. And thank you to the Army National Guard as well for their support here on this channel. They've been excellent, too, for being able to support the collegiate scene just like this. It's been quite the season indeed, Pyro, and we got to wrap it here from Rocket League. I'm glad we got to call the last one, but again, check out those titles. Make sure you stick around NECC, and we'll see you next time. Good night.
Forge Trials is presented by the Army National Guard.